Alrighty. Last time on Beast World, our delvers learned recently of a dungeon entrance that was discovered in the archives section of the Library of the Gate within Louvain. With permission from Dr. Iskuga and Cicero, the delvers were permitted to explore the dungeon, which has been all but empty since it appeared 3 years ago. Cicero shows them to the door and tells them they have roughly 4 hours to look around, while he waits to ensure no one else comes by. Upon traveling through the long, dark tunnel beyond the door, our delvers find themselves on the edge of the astral sea amongst crumbling ruins. They take note of the strange gravity and that they are able to float if they wish to, but can be tethered to the ruins like normal. The ruins themselves appear deserted, no signs of monsters, traps, or loot to be found. As the party heads up a flight of stairs towards the second floor, something does catch their eye. A large stone monolith just at the edge of the platform, with a faint pulsing pink light, covered in some sort of lattice-shaped energy. Attempts to interact with it prove null, as the lattice prevents any kind of force, physical or extrasensory, to penetrate the barrier. While the delvers focus on the orb, a faint glimmering catches Charlotte's attention as she notices a translucent box at the base of the monolith. Without a word, she skirts around the group to interact with it. Her vision is diverted to a far-off place. A carnival in the woods. Over time, the carnival becomes distorted and full of horror as guests and carnies alike turn into monsters. Her vision is pulled once more towards darkness before a jester's grinning face slinks out in front, and a feminine voice is heard. Hecna is dead. Angela's not here. Time's up. As Charlotte is in this trance, the lattice protecting the orb fades before it comes loose from the monolith. The orb forms into a huge creature made of energy, with 4 arms, a rib cage, a long dangling spine, and a faceless head. Combat ensues as our delvers defend themselves as it darts around the ruins, phasing through objects and people alike. It is eventually brought low and returned to its inert state as an orb. Charlotte notices that the same sand-like glowing appears on the orb. Reaching out to touch it, the entity is summoned once more, but 3 times smaller than it first appeared. The entity itself reveals itself to be a construct called the Astral Path. It claims to be the guardian of the Absolute Veil, an invisible barrier that surrounds the Astral Sea and protects the worlds within. The Astral Path reveals as well that it was damaged in an exchange of force between Yitris the Knowing Mouse and an unknown entity from beyond the veil, that it breached the barrier in an attempt to steal 2 denizens from the Beast World. The entity also reveals that Charlotte has been blessed by Yitris, and is able to sense time echoes. These echoes are left behind by objects of great importance and reveal history associated with them. It also confirms that they are not in a dungeon at all, but a part of the Astral Sea itself. Charlotte makes a connection that if there are doors into the sea, then this rumored traveler may be using them to get around. The Astral Path says that it needs to assess the damage to the veil, as it hasn't seen the rift in 3 years, but if the delvers wish to contact it again, they simply need to return to the monolith here. Our crew, now overwhelmed with new information, return to Cicero and head back to the Dungeon Decorum to inform the head archivist. The delvers explain the events that unfolded within the Astral Sea, Charlotte also mentioning a box and describes it in detail. Speck steps away into his office, only to return a moment later holding the same box as described. He claims that he found it in the Arnarian desert while traveling with Litfield. He offers the box to Charlotte, saying that she is more likely to find a use for it. Cicero hands over payment for their investigation and offers a few leads on a dungeon and a missing dungeon scout in Edelsten. The group head back to Vegas's estate to rest, planning to bring up the mention of the ferals to the guards sometime next morning. And now, Norman. Or should I say, Baldwin.
Oh!
It has been 3 weeks since you and Vivilia arrived at the Beast World. And you spent a good portion of your time traveling with the caravan Litfield. Your attempts to find the Stone of Galore have been effortless, unfortunately. As the caravan approaches the great capital of Ferrosoro, you depart ways, hoping that you and Vivilia can make more ground on your own, and potentially find wherever this stone would have gotten off to. As you venture across the Great Wall, you keep close to Vivilia, as neither of you are accustomed to the desert heat. She has been silent a lot as of late. There's still very much a clear guilt on her conscience. What do you do?
Leading the both of us, I am heading in. So this is the capital of which place again?
This is Farsoro. This is the capital of Arneria. You were heading south with the Litfield caravan, and this seemed like a good place to part ways, as the caravan itself does not move fast enough, and you feel like speed is of the importance right now.
Have I done any research or questioning about Farsoro, what might be within it?
You know that Farsoro is... It is a very crowded place. The causeway, which you've been traveling on for a few days now, is one of the largest structures you've ever seen in your life. It continues to span far off into the horizon. It is a great wall built all along the desert. And most of the cities and structures are built either atop or within the walls. You also notice that many wagons and caravans of their own travel across the wall to more safely navigate the desert. You've been informed that Farsoro is closer towards the open desert itself, but the Batian jungles to the north provide another hazard. And if you stick to the causeway, you can reach all the way up into Alamance.
Well, I think what Boland's priority would be is to find lodging for at least a few days to get grounded in Farsoro and find anything he can concerning the Stone of Galore, or even Idris or Sphinxes, anything concerning the arcane and Well, transportation magic is like that's abjuration, correct?
Good question.
I am special.
A quick check. It is conjuration.
Noted. That is the most important priority now. Is I'm gonna have to find someone for information concerning first the stone and second anything about conjuration in general.
All right. I think I had something on here as well. I thought I had a table on this. Let me defer to the book real quick.
Oh, good.
Here we go. The junction. That's what you're looking for. You get word that teleportation magic in the beast world is not particularly common, but there exists a few stones connected together that form a single teleportation network called the junction. There are 7 junction stones across the beast world. You are told of one that exists in Barcero. You learn that the other destinations include a capital city called Louvain, a fort in Alamance known as Kingsfane, a port known as Arloris, and a very water-sided city of Pristana. And you are also informed of a larger city further out into the desert, Kazmek, Ve-Kazmek. And then a final junction stone all the way in the frozen north of Auria in Jaegerwald. You're with a little bit of asking around. You learned that a lot of the Delvers, as they've been called, tend to use this to try to get around a lot quicker, and that a one-way trip between the stones is about 20 gold pieces, roughly.
Oh, that's a relief. Will I know anyone who operates or oversees the junction of Farsoro? Is this a place is the location of the junction itself in a secluded area, a more public space?
Based off the information being given, it is more public space. It is operated by jackals.
Oh.
Apparently, the jackals are the ones who brought these gifts to the Beast World.
Oh.
You can recognize a junction by the Blackstone Ziggurat at the center.
So, first things first, gonna get some lodgings here. Even if it's a few days over, if I already teleport, I need some place to stay at least and base myself.
Mm-hmm.
Most important thing, I'm going to seek out one of these jackals that involve themselves with the junction, because I need to ask more about its method and about teleportation itself.
Okay. Easy enough. Meeting up at the Farsoro Junction, you see quite a few jackals. Very, very similar to Anastasia.
Oh,
Much taller, though.
strange.
What really draws your attention to them is that a lot of their nature appears fey in just their overall appearance. It's a little bit deja vu, and also making you a little homesick at the same time.
Yeah. I want to try to seek out any jackal, any of them that may stand out in mage-like regalia or like an arcanist, just anyone that stands out that seems to be a magic expert.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Yay, I have +1.
Make sure to use Baldwin's sheet.
I did. I have a natural 20.
Nice.
Nice.
Alright, with a natural 20, looking between those that are moving around, luckily, there are not many that are as tall as jackals, so the jackals stand out on their own. There is one particular individual you see who is floating around wearing very ornate robes. You do get a sense of this might be a powerful magic user. This individual would likely be the best person to answer your questions.
I'm going to approach this jackal, beckoning to them, and then ask, I need to speak with you personally on a matter concerning the junction and teleportation. And you seem like someone who would know.
The jackal looks at you for a moment. Their robes are a mixture of white and green, with a little bit of like gold gilded along the edges, and they're wearing a mask that only obscures like around their eyes, but like kind of high and low, but not most of their face. And they stop and look at you and like, do I personally know you?
No, we just met.
Okay. He looks you over for a second. You are a peculiar-looking Ovin. What kind of questions do you have?
From what I'm to understand, the junction transports people across the entire world. Is it possible to transport to another world?
Are you talking about to the broken world?
Do you know of a world called Faerun?
Faerun? No. Can't say I do. Is it like the Feywild?
Strangely enough, it has a place called the Feywild. What?
His brow kind of like furrows for a second. Curious. Are you from around here?
Looking around to see if anyone besides my goddaughter is here, and then I'm just gonna say, no.
For the most part, glancing around, people are kind of just minding their business. This is almost like being at like an airport, kind of. People are just kind of like coming and going as quick as they can.
Yeah, you don't pay attention to individual conversations with the people.
You just don't pay attention to people on their way. Vivilia has kind of like kept her distance. She has, for the most part, kept her hood up, and is just kind of like trying not to draw on any attention to herself. But after you answer him, he looks to you. Fascinating. And this Faerun, is this where you are from?
Yes.
Most intriguing.
I
Well, I unfortunately don't know anything about this, or how you would have even gotten here in the first place.
well, gonna look to Vivilia, but really don't want to specifically point her out. We'll say we had in our possession a sort of jade stone called the Stone of Galore. It was able to get us here. However, we had lost it alongside the caravan train that just passed by here.
Interesting. So this stone is like a junction stone, in a way. You are able to use it to teleport, but not between other stones, just other worlds?
From what I've experienced, yes.
This is quite fascinating. Unfortunately, a lot of this is very new to me, as are you. But if you're looking for something like this in particular, something that you've lost, might I recommend that you visit the Madam in Pristana? She can potentially aid you in your search. She knows how to find things of great value. Or importance. Depends on what you're looking for, of course.
The Madam.
Yes. Oh, you will need this, though. And he produces, out of kind of like nowhere, a sort of like a coin, but it's like too big to be like a normal coin. And he hands it over to you, and it has like an eye like symbol on it with a little bit of a dash kind of coming from beneath it. You will want to give her this. It is for her service.
Pocket the coin. I appreciate this very much. I know I haven't gotten the exact answer I want, but you've helped more than you think you have.
I appreciate it. I am used to travelers being lost, gesturing to the junction stone.
Now, another funny question, GM. Do I have money?
I don't know, how much money did you bring with you?
I have no money.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like you have any money.
Ugh.
I will say, though, from helping with the caravan incident, with the first delving crew, I would say that, you were given a little bit of a reward, just, making sure that the kids didn't die to the Sphinx. We'll say that you were given 150 gold.
That helps a lot. And what time is it during the day?
Oh, it is high noon.
All right. So I'm going to privately go to Vivilia and say, there might be someone who would be able to help us, but it looks like we will have to transport ourselves across the world. And I want us to go together.
Pavilia looks at you and nods. And, of course, she uses her psionic connection to just talk to you in your head. That sounds like the best idea. I don't want to be separated. If we're going across the world, that's the last amount of distance I want to put between us.
I am going to take her hand, and I'm going to prepare myself transportation to Pristana. I am not letting go of Avilia.
Oh,
Baldwin is absolutely afraid of a problem.
all right. You take Lily's hand, and I assume you're going to use the junction network.
Yep.
Okay. You pay for essentially a ticket. Luckily, the 20 gold fee ticket covers both you and Vivilia. It can cover up
Good.
to 5 occupants, as it's normally a fee used for delving crews. Give me one more perception check.
All right. That's an 8.
Okay. As you are approaching the obsidian stone that hovers off the ground, it is a large, like, I want to say it's about a 25, almost 30-foot monolith, and it is very clearly radiating energy. And you're watching as small little gates kind of open near the base as people come and go from it. And you are directed towards a specific side as you are aiming for the city of Pristana along the coast of Vigno. As you and Vivilia step forward, she takes one look back. She looks a little afraid.
We're going to stay together. Will transport themselves through this thing for some time. If we get put to another stone, if we get separated, just stay put, stay near it. I'll figure it out.
Okay. Are you sure you can trust that person?
Well, people have been coming through this thing. It'd be a pretty long joke if it was to lead to something bad.
Alright. I trust your judgment. And you and Vivilia step through the stone, disappear. And now, find the track real quick. Which one was it? Under. There it is. Norman, again. But it's Charlotte.
Oh,
You are resting up in Vegas's estate. You have felt this interesting burden be placed upon you by Idris, the all-knowing mouse. And it stirs your sleep. You feel cold. And you start to like rub your eyes as if you're like waking up. But you're not in your room. You're not even in the estate. Looking around, you see a marble white desert surrounding you from all sides. And it is surprisingly cold. But it's not dark. It's not night, how you would expect a desert to feel. And ahead of you, you can see a figure standing up on a hillside, cloaked in tattered just wearing a very large, tattered brown cloak. Their back is to you.
Charlotte is going to approach this figure and then call out, "Where is this place?"
You start walking towards the figure, but you can't seem to get any closer. No matter how much you walk, they stay the same distance away. And as you call out for them, they slowly turn towards you. And you wake up. You are in your room. And you are in a cold sweat right now. For a quick question, would you have shared a room with anyone?
Yes, Charlotte is a room share. I don't know if I've decided who, because she's fine if anybody.
Is she though?
Yeah. hold
Okay,
on.
no, okay,
Is she?
not a ski.
He.
I'm gonna roll to seal the roster. Do it real fast. Eset.
Mm-hmm.
That's my roommate.
Alright.
And they were roommates.
Alright. Gotcha. Alright. I just needed to figure out where to put you on the map. Let's see.
Just bed hopping every night.
May December romance, but the December several decades later.
Okay, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, that's everybody.
The estate has a map.
Oh, my house is real.
Before we proceed any further, you all are now level 4.
Yay.
Wahoo.
Yay.
So if you will pull up your character sheet, you will want to go to the Features tab, and where it says Classes, toggle it from 3 to 4.
Ah,
It should level you up as normal. If you are missing spells, just use the importer.
Fingers
Oh,
crossed.
To
And
roll or not to roll?
uh-oh. Let's do a disconnect, reconnect thing. I better be
I
careful.
think my health didn't increase. Should I just set it back and do it again?
weird, it went into your max on the right didn't
Yeah.
increase, but the left did.
Yeah, I see that. Should
Ah.
I just set
Get
it
an
back?
ability score improvement, so I need to take care of that.
Yeah, if it doesn't look like your stats adjust correctly, I trust you to fix it. You can re-roll ones.
That almost landed on a 2.
Yeah, no, it's not leveling up my max for some reason. Should I just override it?
Yeah, override it if it's not working.
Don't forget to add your con modifier.
Oh, it's not giving me the stat increase for level 4.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
so
you
I'm
need to
just
do
gonna,
that manually.
bump it manually. I am so goddamn dumb. I did not keep track of what my hit points were before the level, and now that you guys are saying you're having hit point problems, I'm concerned.
It increased
It
only
does
my...
a prayer roll, so you need to add your con modifier, yeah.
Yeah, for some reason it increased only my health, but not 6. It did 5.
Yours look like they went up, Ignatius. They're at 41, which they weren't before.
Make sure you untick the average box if you don't want to take average. You need to make sure that's unticked. Otherwise, it's going to give you the average.
Well,
Also, we
this
get
is
to reroll
previous.
ones for health hit for HP rolls, right?
Yes, you can reroll ones.
Wait, we literally
Mostly
have a
same as
YouTube
Vegas.
channel with this. I can just check it for reference.
You can always go back and fix it. Yeah.
We have an ASI as well, right?
Yeah.
It is level 4.
Duo.
Mhm.
I have to cantrip.
It's not letting me add the feats, but could I get the piercer feat added?
Yeah, let me...
I'll handle the stat change. So that is 20 dex.
New cantrip.
I have
required.
18. I have 18 dex and 18 whiz. Jesus Christ.
I am getting new spells this level, but I do not see a button for importing anything.
Okay, I see why that happened. That particular module has been upgraded to the latest version. We're using the previous one.
Whoop.
Okay. I will try to fix that later, but I will grab some default stuff for now. So let me pull up... Let's see.
So, do I gotta manually add my ASI?
I mean, if you're taking an ASI, it should let you do it through this thing.
It didn't come up. I did it manually.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Oh, but do I want a feat? Ooh.
Expecting this to be the problem of the day.
I have a question.
Yes.
About naturally developing feats like we have been with like cooking and such.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to do like that, like start using improvised weapons, would I develop Tavern Brawler?
I'd say you could potentially work towards that, yeah.
Works for me. ASI it is.
Start bar brawls.
I didn't expect to get fast tracked back to the estate, so I was planning on cooking everyone dinner, but
There's a kitchen at the estate.
We will say that you cooked dinner for the night. If you would like to make a, I think it was a survival check.
yeah, sure. Ah, really? It rolled onto the 12 and then
Can't all be a winner. Can't all be winners.
Yeah, I'll say the a little bit of the stress of everything that happened that day was just a little overwhelming for you.
Yeah.
Fair.
I'm not really mad at the roll. I'm mad at the way the dice rocked and then went rocked back.
I know it's completely digital and like the physical representation means nothing, but seeing it teeter on the max then go to something else, it always pisses me off.
No,
it means nothing though.
It
Actually
fills
not
me
on
with
Forge.
immutable rage.
The dice on Forge actually use a physics engine to determine the roll.
And that physics engine pisses me off.
Harder to put a physics engine in jail.
Oh, buddy, you haven't seen me try.
If you need a feat and I'm not able to give it to you now, just remind me after the game and I will add it.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna put a self-made one in there just so I know it's there. Otherwise, I am gonna forget.
Are we doing martial versatility? It's like the optional 4th level fighter thing, martial versatility.
What is it?
Let me pull up the 5e tools page.
It just means you can change your fighting style.
Oh, like swapping out whenever you would normally take an ASI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that if you want. You're using great weapon fighting though, right?
I am. And I already took the ASI. I was just wondering if that was an option once I hit those.
Yeah, I don't really have a problem with that one.
Okay, I'm gonna stay on great weapon fighting though. I have 18 strength.
Nice. Now I have to remind myself every time I do damage that I can potentially I can re-roll it if I don't like the result. At least one of them, anyway.
Killer.
As long as I'm using piercing weapons, there.
If we're doing the optional class features, should I have gained an extra proficiency at level 3?
I
In the
I don't know what the barbarian is.
The optional barbarian class feature that I'm looking at is primal knowledge at 3rd level, and again when you reach 10th level, you gain proficiency in one skill of your choice from the list of skills available to barbarians at 1st level.
Okay. All right. Any of the feats, spells, optional abilities, if it's not something you can work with right now in this moment, remind me after the game.
Oh, I can work with it. I just
Yep.
need permission.
Yeah. Just ask me after the game.
Okay.
And mine's easy enough to add. I just copied the text from D&D Beyond and then gave it a silly picture because it's all passive. It's not something I can. It's nothing that's going to change the mechanics of the game anyway, outside of the pressing the damage button again.
If I can do it, I'm going to take proficiency in animal handling because of
That'd be cool.
the bullet thing here. Other than that, I'm done.
Yep, all done.
Can I make grappling into a weapon focus?
What are you asking?
It's because it's part of the martial versatility thing. It just adds +1 to your attack and damage rolls when you add a weapon focus. It's completely optional. It's a human thing, but either way, just from like old 5e.
Okay. Again, ask me after the game.
Okay.
I want to try to get through this a little bit more quickly.
Yep, just thinking aloud.
Yeah, I'm already done.
And
Martial
I think I've done
classes.
everything I can do right now, so.
I have a question unrelated to leveling up. Are these comfy beds?
The beds are serviceable. They haven't been super well maintained, so they're a little stiff. Trying to get comfortable in them is questionable at best.
Vanya is sleeping on a bed twice her size. She's in the best bed in the world.
Araston's feet sticking over the edge.
Probably.
Issa is curled up in her bed a little bit because otherwise she won't fit in. The bed is against the wall on the backside.
We have four very tall people in this party.
Wait till Baldwin shows up if ever.
5.
Still kind of
I
enjoy
mean,
that.
Boltonwood is about Emma's height, so like, still significantly shorter than some of us here.
I want to scare the demon with one thing.
Oh yeah, don't forget to take a long rest if you haven't yet.
It's done.
Yeah, I did.
Hey,
All right.
hey, Duo, because you've been getting me anxious this first hour. Your stream's running, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just returning the favor.
Frantically checks.
All right. Is everyone ready?
Yep.
Yes.
Good.
Born ready.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. You all awake, maybe after a somewhat restful sleep. Depends on how you've been handling the events of the last 24 hours.
Polly.
I'm thriving. I rolled so many nat 20s last session.
Vegas, you are in your room. Your
Sick.
personal room.
I had a fireplace as a kid. That's dangerous.
There are quite a few fireplaces. It's an estate, and it gets cold in the winter.
Yeah.
So fucking American.
Yeah, this is normal for older houses, you know.
You are free to move about the estate.
Just kind of scraping her way out of the room, looking for the nearest coffee place.
Good morning to you too, Ignatius.
Wait, is this like a second part of the room? Where am I?
Yes, you have an extended part of the room.
Oh god, I'm so cool.
I didn't expect to walk into another bedroom. All right.
I walked down a bunch of girls. How dare you?
Huge flex. Vegas doesn't remember how big his room was.
Yeah, Ignatius will say good morning and promptly make his way out.
Hello. Wow, my field of view is really limited right now. Is
Are we
anybody
only
else's-
supposed to see 10 feet?
There's not great lighting in this place. There are some torches, but
Oh shit, I'm outside.
there are the estate's in still not a great repair yet.
It's a fixer-upper. What's
But
this
I
room?
will let you all know that the dining area or the kitchen is to the south.
Oh, wait, is this a courtyard? Excuse me.
Aspen's
Yes.
staying in this room next time.
Husky, where's the kitchen?
You are both Eski and Vanu. You are in the main entrance.
I think I have this map in my map folder, actually. Oh, that's funny.
She's distressed and runs back inside.
It's like Waterdeep over again. I'm hearing doors.
Yes.
Hey, Duo. What's this room?
This is your father's office.
I wasn't allowed to be in here as a kid.
Nope, not at all.
This must
I'm in
be
here
the
now.
library.
It's surprisingly well maintained compared to most of the estate. It's not seen use for a long time though.
And it's just been unlocked.
Yep.
Oh, that's
Is there anything outside, like lying out on the desk, or is it just unused?
It's mostly unused.
Okay.
I
I'm
don't...
going to go fucking insane with all these doors.
Do you remember where the kitchen is, Aspen?
Maybe then I am one of those.
Vegas, where's your kitchen? Just grabs him by the closest bit of clothing and attempts to shake.
Ignatius will chirp in and say, I know where the kitchen is. It's down the hall and the door on your left.
Which hall?
The one I'm
Yeah.
in.
Let's go.
Something about ASCII just approaching rapidly from behind.
That's
Your
not a
other
kitchen.
left.
Oh. Stumbles in.
Oh wow.
Delilah,
to a
hearing
stove.
all the doors opening and closing in the hallway, just kind of looks over from where she's been preparing breakfast. Oh, good morning. You all sounded like you needed the sleep.
At the good morning, Vanya looks at her. Is it really a good morning?
Oh, well, I mean, the sun is up, so...
Turns back to the
Just
It's
stove.
certainly a morning either way.
doesn't know how to respond to your question in particular, and is just trying to make breakfast.
Yeah, this woman's
Sit back
trying to
and
make
give her a thumbs
breakfast,
up.
and then an entire party of interlopers just jump in and are like, hey, how's your day going?
Aspen's just gonna pick up one of these corn cobs and just very sleepily just like eat it. Just like bite it in half. Like eating a carrot.
Breakfast will be ready shortly if you want to hang out in the dining room.
Wow, my house is so cool, guys. This
Do
is
you
my
need
first
any
time ever
help?
seeing it.
Yeah, you live in an estate. It's almost like your family's wealthy or something.
Yeah.
Aspen, hot water. Just bring me hot water in a cup. Thank you.
Ugh. Sheep, do you need any help?
No, that's I. Out of character, having located the actual dining room proper. Ski has just situated herself on a seat here near the fireplace and is simply awaiting the first cup, anticipating.
Wait.
She
Yeah,
is not
this isn't
terribly
the dining
partial to words this quickly after waking up.
Stumble.
Delilah looks to you, Aspen, and nods. Could you prepare the bread? I don't want it to burn.
Duh, I will do better than Dilla. Promise.
Oh, okay. Just immediately back to shopping.
This house is too big.
Yeah, Aspen's just gonna be, following directions.
There's certainly a lot that you could hide in here.
Also making sure there's some water on the stove to heat up for Vanya.
You could fit my family's house in this house and still have room for more houses. It's too big.
If you ask me, there's no such thing as a house too big, merely a house that doesn't have enough people in it.
This house could fit an army, and it'd still have room. It's too big.
An army's a bit generous.
I'm gonna do
Small
something
army.
silly.
No?
I have to remember where my room was. Oh! No distraction yet.
Oh?
First off, gonna feel around the bed and for anything. Because Charlotte is wondering if what she just dreamed was either a time echo or anything.
Oh, you're looking for an object.
Yes.
Looking around the bed. Doesn't seem to be anything that stands out.
Okay, it was just a dream.
It's that you're walking in on, Charlotte, who is
Oh, I
kind of like
know.
searching her bed in a strange manner. Mocha just kind of like standing in the corner of the room, ominously.
See, that's the next thing I want to do. I want to feel better, so I want to try to fit Mocha.
Oh,
But I understand it's animal handling.
he said we'll allow it to happen.
Alright, no
Oh.
animal handling check required. Mocha
Yes,
lets you
Wow.
pet
Oh yeah, Charlotte is gonna feel Mocha's mane, and then like as soon as there's no opposition, is just going to ruffle both her hands over that mane of Mocha's.
them.
No.
How does Mocha react? Is your animal companion?
A little bewildered, but leaning into it after a while.
Mocha seems more relaxed than when you brought them in.
I suppose I just needed some time to adjust.
She's gonna head back to the kitchen. I mean, living room, dining room.
I just want to point out, did we walk into the kitchen, walk out, and leave the door open while doing so?
Yeah.
Welcome to Waterdeep, priest.
So most of us, I guess, just didn't think about closing the door. Vanya doesn't think before coffee. It's just not in her book.
Fondly remembering the ghost that closes all the doors.
Oh, is that a thing now?
It wasn't
wasn't
a full skull
Waterdeep.
manor.
So, anything you all want to talk about while breakfast is being worked on?
I don't know where the rest of the party is.
They're in the dining room.
Oh, I thought
This
this was.
isn't the dining room.
No, that's the lounge, you goobers.
What were you about to call me?
I don't know. I was really hoping something would come to me in the heat of the moment.
We're sat around the fireplace. You just sat in the ski's lap.
Oh, I don't see their tokens.
You probably need to refresh.
That's the place I like walked through the dining room earlier while folks were kind of talking, and I was like, oh, there's nobody in here. Maybe it's not the dining room. Okay, now everybody's here. Jeez.
Vanya's gonna hang her head over the back of the chair she sat in to look towards the set and Charlotte. This house is too big.
You get used to it.
No.
You'll get used to it.
Curls the head around to look at Vegas. Did you get used to it?
Yeah. You get used to
Okay.
it.
I assure you, it's much better than a house that's far too small.
I wouldn't know.
Some
She
people don't
just
have
shoots
such nice things.
daggers at Ignatius.
I've been in places where I could barely stand up properly, so yes.
Living in a
Something
wagon.
tells me we aren't going to be around long enough to get used to it this time.
Living in the wagon is the smallest I can tolerate.
It's about
Thankfully, that thing is
comfortable
bigger on the inside.
So he said,
Yes.
do you know about a white sand desert?
Do I know about a white sand desert?
Make me a history check.
Alright.
Oh, 20.
Oh my god.
For the natural 20, the only major desert that comes to mind is the one that spans all across our area. White desert. It kind of makes you think a little bit of Aurea, given that it's a desert of snow. That's about all you can piece together.
Even with a natural 20, I know nothing.
Well,
It's a kind of a vague question, to be fair.
A white desert, do you mean like the most deserted parts of Aurea, or
Like white
Inland Arneria?
sand. White sand. I know there's a desert to the southeast, but I don't know if that's the one I'm thinking.
Elaborate, dear.
Well, I had a dream that I was in like a white desert, white sand. It was a little cold, but there was someone on a rock all dressed up. I tried talking to them, and then I woke up. That's about it. I was hoping it would mean something. It probably means nothing.
Most
Do you remember what
dreams.
they looked like?
No, just wearing like a brown robe or cloak or something.
So does this tell me like anything at all? I'm guessing not, but
kind of vague, yeah. Fortunately, not really anything immediately comes to mind. Seeing a stranger in a dream is not an uncommon dream.
I'm sorry. I don't think I can enlighten you on that now.
Maybe I should have become one of those somnomancers if I knew my life was going to go this way.
Well, we never know the path ahead until we tread it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and I do not mean to besmirch your abilities or typecast you in any way, but jackals are naturally inclined to dreams.
We mostly use that ability to get away from scenes undetected, so to speak. Well, unremembered would be the better word.
I see. I was trying to avoid talking without knowing, but this is good information to know.
Maybe we could find one of those somnomancy wizards or something.
I
They
mean,
can look at it, you dream for you, but it just sounds like a dream.
see, now I'm gonna have to look at every vision I see. I'm gonna have to tell if it's. I can't tell if it's gonna be my own head or one of these echoes. Sorry, yesterday was overwhelming.
No, really?
I think
Echo,
we all
a
did
port
great.
of ruin, a nightmare. Could be any number of things.
It could also be nothing.
I
mean,
feel like
It
you're
could be just
justified
an
in
ordinary
being
dream, but
concerned,
yes.
though.
If it's a worry, then one of those wizards. Or you could ask someone that can see your mind or something. I don't know.
I'm gonna pull out my spirit book, which has now seen a little more wear. I've decided today that I'm going to start a dream journal to see if I can make sense of it. If it's nothing, then it's nothing.
My little sister did one of those.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. She
Really?
lost it. But yeah.
What a compelling end to that story.
What do you expect me to say? It led her on a massive adventure and she found out the secrets to the universe?
Be an amusing lie, I suppose.
I'll remember it. Sure. That's what happened then.
Aspen, give me another survival check.
Oh no!
Come on!
Oh, we're getting
no.
food poisoning.
Pots and pans crashing.
I
You
mean, it
are,
is better than last night, but still.
yeah, you're attempting to help Delilah, going around, and a lot of the general utensils and such are oddly small. They're kind of difficult to use. They seem to be more fitting for her, and she catches you as they're trying to like put some pastries together. She's like, no, you have to do it like this, and she's like trying to correct you and everything. You don't make a mess, luckily, but it just takes a little bit longer to get food done.
It's probably like the politest Aspen's been to anyone. It's just like, oh, that's sorry. Yes. Because they're honestly trying to learn. And, like,
Yeah.
So. And this is obviously someone that knows a lot more than they do.
And I'd say after about 10 minutes or so, the food is ready. And Delilah like gives you a few trays to help kind of carry it out. And she approaches into the dining room and starts setting out breakfast, including lots of eggs, some homemade danishes, and a nice big roasted ham. I hope this is enough. We're kind of short on the food.
Oh, this will please you quite handsomely, I think. Thank you.
There is a little scorching. It is my fault, not hers.
Well, it's good that you learn. Oh, this does look really good, though.
Just tumbles backwards out of the chair onto the other chair.
Impressive.
Oh, Vanya, I have your water.
She just lights up, grabby hands in the direction of the water.
I assure you, Ignatius is not on the table. I just can't position him any better.
If you hold shift,
Hold
you can place it precisely.
Oh,
I'm
perfect.
just gonna slide the water over towards Vanya.
It is quickly
Take a
turned into coffee. And a nearby Danish is grabbed.
The
Aspen's got
dull,
eyes on that ham.
that dull red glow visible beneath a ski's hood is just laser focused on the coffee being made.
Is handed 2 cups. Anybody else want any coffee before I make
Oh,
my own?
please.
Okay. Delilah?
I'm alright. She has like a little cup of tea at the moment.
How are you
If
alive at this
You
morning?
want the pot to yourself, feel free.
Just starts passing cups to people that want it.
Aspen will down one.
I don't know how any of you can function without caffeine at
Raw
all.
determination.
I have just never needed it.
So, Vegas,
Mm-hmm.
are you and your friends staying for a while?
Not too much longer, I don't think. Probably another few days. I do have some affairs to tend to here. But then, where was our next lead again?
There's a dungeon issue up by Lake Rhineblast.
Yeah, we're probably gonna head there soon. So we'll be out of your hair sooner or later.
Oh, okay. I'll try to stock up on the food as much as possible while you're here.
Right. Can we have a word in private?
Nope. Right now?
Yeah, something just came to mind.
She looks a little nervous and kind of like steps out into the hall.
Enjoy.
She goes up towards the lounge area.
If he's finding her, let's say we hire her for violence.
Yeah, you guys walk in and it's another like league match. No, but okay, back in character. So my sisters just haven't been back. Like as long as I've been away.
No, you're the first person to be back in a long time.
Do you have any money?
I pull a little bit from the coffers, but it's not a lot.
Okay. So they didn't take everything though, right?
No. It is starting to get a bit thin. It's been a long time, Vegas.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I'll do what I can to help, but it just troubles me that you haven't heard from them either.
Well, they're in Pristana, so if you ever are that way, you could potentially meet up with them. See if they're all right. Let me know.
Yeah. Sure hope they're not avoiding something. Anyway.
Just takes a second before she follows you back.
Nothing bad happened. Continue.
I wasn't thinking something bad happened until you said that.
Yes, now we're suspicious.
Wait, is something bad happening?
No.
Okay.
Just assessing damages.
Oh. Speaking
Clearly,
of,
it's already happened.
this one room is almost as big as the entire floor plan of where I grew up, Vegas. How? It must be so hard to keep warm.
Yeah, we had fires going. We kept close, you know. It wasn't really ever an issue growing up, at least.
I do not think this place is terribly big. I just think there are not enough people.
Looks at Aspen. Oh.
Well,
It used to be fuller.
a property like this usually has staff, Vanya, maids, butlers.
No,
tutors.
that does not make adequate sense. I understand how it is done down here, but you could fit many families in here.
Oh, like
And we did, at times, host other families. Believe me, it wasn't lost on my parents how big this space is. Or at least my mom.
That is good.
did your family host a lot of parties?
Yeah.
That'd be nice to see at some point.
Anyone important?
No. I'm not. Actually, would I remember anything about that? Like, if my, or at least my mother was like around important people like that?
You just give me a general history check.
Yeah, okay. Not bad.
Yeah. For the most part, your family has decent nobility connection across the Alamance. Your mother, in particular, working in second. What's that? Yeah, your mother worked at the Palace of the Lupin Throne. So she had various connections as a result. So there was nobility of all kinds, mostly from within Louvain. There have been some that have come from out, may have known a trade lord from Vigno or so, but for the most part, nobody that in particular stood out to you.
Right. It all blends together.
Yeah, just faces at that point.
Just, yeah, nobility. People I didn't care about at that age, but were very important to everybody else.
That is understandable.
And it's nobody now, unless something was left behind.
Do they really just leave this place to...
Ski, what do you mean?
Oh, forlorn spirit or so. Old, large homes like these have plenty of dark corners where one could be.
Is my estate haunted?
Is it?
Well, Ski's here, probably. Just kind of gives Vegas the look of, duh.
Well, you know, did the people with the extra sensory something?
Why would it not be haunted? Has nobody ever died here?
No.
Really?
That's impressive.
Or at least as far as you're aware.
Ski.
No, Sheep has a point.
He smirks.
So, as a Ski, if you were thinking somewhere in here was where somebody died, where do you think that is?
Anywhere particularly out of the way where someone could have perished and nobody else living in the crowded rest of the home at the time would have even noticed. Imagine if there is perhaps a cellar as a part of the home.
Vegas is like leaning over Vanya, like glaring at Ski. Yes, we have a cellar. What are you talking about?
The possibilities, of course. Have you never considered them yourself?
Going to look to Delilah, Charlotte's gonna ask, nothing weird has been happening in this place since everyone left?
For the past 17 years. Just say it.
17 years.
Nothing weird. She's kind of like munching on a Danish, just looking between you all and kind of like occasionally glancing at a Ski.
I think you're... I think you might be wrong, Ski. Like, someone would have been known of this place by now. Like, the stories are...
Let her cook. Show me. Let's go to the cellar right now.
Sowing paranoia is a complete waste of our time, but sure, I suppose.
I don't mean to point it out specifically. Besides, we have much more important work to be getting to today. The archives, again, if possible.
Yes, we do have the archives and,
The guard.
Yes.
And don't you need to get paid or something, or promoted or something, Vegas.
Hopefully both, am I right? I elbow Vanya.
Nearly falls off the chair. What?
Um,
Ow!
Sorry. So, yes. And also, out of character, where did I need to go to further the Thieves' Army quest line?
You were told about the Veterans Union, which is not far from the palace itself.
Okay, and I don't think I have a name in my notes. Who was I supposed to ask for?
You were not given a name.
Okay, got it. They're gonna look for me then. Okay. Yeah, I do have somewhere to be later.
You're all busy since we got here.
I'm a busybody.
I am not.
Also, okay, can't relate.
You gonna say something?
Yeah, what does anybody here know about the Thieves' Army?
Thieves'
History
Army.
check, I guess.
Anybody can make a history
is
check.
that?
Ah,
Because we
okay.
saw those two dudes at the one bar.
I have zero idea, and also this is not going to leave my head for a
my
while. You know there's
gosh.
just dead bodies everywhere, right?
Another nat 20 history check.
Okay, let's see here. Ooh, unfortunate with that too, Ignatius. Let's see.
Ignatius wouldn't have known, even with the high roll.
Who am I missing? I'm missing somebody. Or is it just... No, Vegas didn't roll. Right. Okay. Yeah, basically everybody but Ignatius. You would have heard various rumors about the fabled Thieves' Army. The army, as it were, supposedly was one of the major reasons why the invaders lost the war. As they were pushing further out into territories, the Thieves' Army were performing guerrilla tactics against them to military degrees that they were not prepared for, and ended up halting a lot of their advances. And it is supposedly rumored that they helped partake in some of the final battles that led to the end of the war. After the war, the Thieves' Army remained around as their own group, though they are mostly known as being militarized crime syndicate.
How did you know about them? Or get to know them?
They've been in the corners since we got here. I'm forgetting what the Green Dragon's bar was named.
Prestigar.
Yeah.
Let's see. What is the name of his bar?
Aspen, after that sentence, just glancing around at the corners of the room.
Not literally.
Twisted
At least not yet.
Whiskers.
Thank you. Yeah, there were a couple of them at Twisted Whiskers.
Oh, those mercenary types.
Those figures, yes.
Ignatius, you would remember that you saw one of them carrying a Silver Claw Company weapon.
Ignatius will keep that information to himself for the moment.
Have they been stalking you?
Maybe. I don't know if I'm just paranoid or not.
I mean, they are a criminal syndicate. They could be trying to rob you, or
No, they're bigger than that though. They wouldn't get much off of stealing from me.
Don't take this the wrong way, Vegas, but what is there to steal? Yeah.
Yeah, no, like, really.
Carrying out some kind of revenge, even?
I didn't do anything. And the people who are most likely to have done something are in Vigneault.
Would they know you with your family name?
Yes.
Whoever said a grudge was the most rational thing?
I mean, if they know you personally, they could. Well, like extort something from you or try to take advantage of you somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, but so were you in the war?
Yeah.
You were?
So did you
Yes, we've been over this.
You were.
work with them at all during the war?
No. During the war, I was squired to a knight.
I'll take your word for that. So maybe they're just after. I don't know, you're a veteran. Maybe they want to get you involved.
Oh, they might want to recruit you.
Nah.
Well, what else do they want?
But if they did recruit me, would they make me do bad things, you guys think?
I mean, you would probably... Look, you're not going to join them, are you?
They are thieves.
No.
Well, good. I mean...
I
They've
hear
got-
they do good things as well as the other stuff they do.
Well, it's a crime syndicate, Vanya. They'll just make up some shit to try to justify their actions.
Uh-huh. And if that quotations shit isn't made up.
Listen, they're not, thieves trying to steal bread to give to orphans.
Also, it's shockingly easy to spin up a false narrative without telling a single lie.
These are soldiers. Soldiers that could threaten you by force, by number, by any means.
A soldier without a war is a very dangerous thing.
You're damn right I am.
This
So-
just boils down to the age-old dichotomy between class and moral values.
Looks at Aspen. Very, like, huh? Expression.
Okay.
What? I know things.
I didn't think you didn't, but that was kind of profound.
Thank you.
Maybe they'll leave you alone when we get everything in Louvain done.
I'm honestly interested in why.
I don't think it's a good reason. They're just gonna take advantage of him.
I'm not that dumb.
No, but they have numbers. They know where you live.
But I am literally so strong. And he flexes.
I still also want to reiterate very little basis on this for the record.
I wonder
Anyway,
if
that's
they
all I
know
have on
any.
that subject.
I wonder if they know anything about our weird masked people.
The Pharaohs,
Mm-hmm.
I reckon.
Both underground.
Maybe they work together.
Oh, I don't like that.
Hate group, radicals, which fought them
Oh,
off.
I don't like to talk
I
about
can
it
see
all,
them
but
arm in arm.
it makes
I-
sense.
Doubt that. Really?
The way I see it, there are two major possibilities. One would be that they are working together and the overlap between Thieves Guild member and racist is actually complete circle, or They hate each other's guts because they are both trying to work in the same space and have opposing values.
Looking to Aspen with astonishment.
That's
Well,
a very good point. Yes.
Look, just
Well,
because
if
they're
you
quiet
care.
doesn't mean they can't have a good point.
if you care to look into the shape that this underground web is taking, is entirely up to you.
Well, the Thieves' Army are going to be big, no doubt. And this group, they may just be in... They may just be around Alamance, but
Exactly.
if they're not, then maybe the Thieves' Army know.
If I am talking too much, I apologize. I blame unusually pleasant coffee Mouse gave me.
No, this is good. I like this.
Smiles.
We do need a plan with them. Are we really gonna go to them, or are we just gonna try to?
No, we're gonna ignore them for now. If I decide to tangle with them, I'll let you guys know. But right now, I think they're not of our concern.
All right.
If
Maybe not
they
concerned, but
decide
interested.
to keep heading after you, then you can learn a bit more about their methods along the way. And then see if that changes how you feel about them.
Yeah, I have other things to worry about here right now, like getting paid.
Yes, let's set what we're going to do today. Get
Yes,
paid.
we have plans.
Archives. God, am I gonna get? No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make a list in the book.
If I
Okay.
was gonna add to this list, so getting paid, the guard, because that will take less time than going into an archive and starting to pour through books. Then the archive.
Guard, then archive, and of course, Vegas' payment.
Well, that's first.
You guys
Payment
don't have to
first.
be there for that. I'm not sharing.
We don't want you to share, but we want to celebrate with you.
I mean, what are you gonna do with the money, though?
Do I know how much money I'm going to be earning with this?
Nope.
I'll think about that.
Okay. Payment, guard, archives. Oh, that's easy enough. Here we go again. I'm gonna just rip off the little snippet of page. I don't need the whole. This book has seen some abuse lately, but I only need like a quarter of it. Well, we'll have to see the guard then. Do you want to meet us in the archives later, Vegas?
Yeah, I'll meet you guys there.
All right. Finish your food and get going.
Yes.
Alrighty. So where are we up to first?
Vanya said the guard.
Yeah, so we've got Vegas gonna go get paid, and then I guess the rest of us going to the guards first, but I don't know. What you want to do, scene first?
We'll start with Vegas. Alright. Change up the music a little bit. Who's going with Vegas? Is Vegas just going by themselves?
Vegas.
What?
Or is it
You're
just
going on
you?
your own.
I mean, you're welcome to join me.
Again, who is going with Vegas, or are they going solo?
What's Vegas's sales pitch to get company?
Just choosing to go with them.
Yeah.
I'm
There is
going to
none.
get money.
Vegas was like, "You don't have to come with me."
No, he
No.
shows up.
Well, now I
right.
want to come with you.
What's
Okay,
the
then come
options,
with
right?
me, Iggy.
Where's everyone else going?
Talk to the
guard.
guard.
Talk to
guard.
guards. So we will just say that
Go-
Vegas heads on their own. You're heading
No,
back
Aspen's-
to.
Aston's gonna go with Vegas. Don't want to talk to guards again.
You know what? That's fair.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. Yeah.
And I don't want to see the two of them arrested again.
There's the real sales pitch, avoiding the guards.
Yeah.
All right, so Vegas and Aspen, you head back towards what is essentially the night district, though it's the daytime at this point. And back to the local brawling tavern, the Staggeron Inn. Heading inside, it is surprisingly busy for the afternoon. There are plenty of people already day drinking. You can see two supposed fighters out front, just kind of like throwing hands at each other. They've got like a small crowd watching them, but they're mostly just kind of like doing their own thing. There is like a guard or two off to the side, like a Crown's Guard, watching, just kind of like making what could be private wagers. But you head on in, and you give me a perception check.
Okay.
It's not super busy, but it's also not super packed, and you don't see Mason at the moment.
Where's Dion?
She's not here either.
I blow my summoning whistle. No. I guess I could. Yeah, I'll. No. Hey. I'm gonna approach the bar and ask for Mason.
All right. A husky currently working behind the bar kind of like looks over towards you. Oh. Mason?
Uh-huh.
He should be second floor.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, you're Vegas, right?
Uh-huh.
I heard about your fight out in the market the other day.
Hell yeah.
I kind of wish I was there to see it. It sounded like it was spectacular.
Yeah, it was a good debut. Yeah. Hopefully I'll get into a scuffle before I leave.
I do not think you missed much.
Aspen,
Wait
I will
until he
slap
is in
you.
the big leagues.
Aspen, I will slap you.
What? It was just a base fight. Wait until you're in big packed arena fighting for top prizes.
You brought along the anti-hype guy. Hype fella?
Truly.
Hype
Yeah.
man.
Truly.
Hype person.
Hyper.
No,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Hype bear. Anti-hype
Hype-
bear.
It's fine. It's fine. I can work this.
All right.
Anyway.
It's not Vegas' fault he was forced to slap around unworthy opponent.
I'll slap you around.
Promise?
Promise. Anyway.
You head upstairs, and you remember where Mason's booth is. And as you strut on over, the curtains are open, and you see sitting right next to him, Kaiba.
Oh, hey. Looking at the guy that I beat up the other day.
It's because of the
He kind of like rushes up from sitting. It almost feels like he's gonna tackle you for a second, but then he like reaches out to like slap your hand.
Let's go. Yeah, I'll dap him up.
Yeah. He's like, yo, that fight yesterday was so good.
Exhilarating.
I,
You did great.
I didn't expect you to throw your weapons away.
I needed to make a gesture. Also, DM, are his horns like not a costume? Does he still have horns? Like out
He
of
still has
character?
horns.
Sick. Anyway. Hi, Mason. Also.
Mason waves. Well, it's good that I got both of you here. I can divvy up this coin.
Nice.
And he shifts through and produces 2 large pouches of coin and basically slides them across the table to you and Darnell. Darnell immediately picks this up and just kind of like brings it up to his ear and jingles it a bit. Oh, love the sound of money.
Aspen's gonna lean over Kyber a bit.
Aspen, what do you say?
So, did you agree to lose for a scene of match, or did you just get your ass kicked in public?
Aspen.
What? I'm curious. I don't know
Vegas
how it
has his head in his hand.
He like turns back to look at you, like kind of tilting his head up.
They like ruining fun. Don't take it with a grain of salt.
This is the person that was about to interrupt the match.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, I'm sorry. They're one of my delving crew.
You were very rude to just jump it on us at random. But
I
They
do
made
not
it
know
more
how this works.
exciting and dramatic.
It did. I agree. Also, Aspen, I gave the entire party fair warning that was exactly what would happen.
Duh, just because you knew it was going to happen does not make it rude when it happens. I can know someone is going to stab me, and it is still rude to stab me.
Okay. How much did I get paid?
You and Darnell both end up receiving 250 gold pieces
Sick.
for a perfect match.
Money.
So, you like to delve then?
Yeah, I kind of fell into it.
I've been thinking about joining up as well. See if I can find Delving Crew. That could be pretty interesting. I hear that
pretty
the
fun.
Delving League is getting kind of popular now.
Yeah, they told me about that.
Who knows? Maybe we could have a delving matchup. My crew versus yours?
That'd be sick.
Yeah, it would be.
Ugh.
This guy is just like constantly like energized all the time.
Man. Like, win or lose, I'm taking this guy to the top with me. Okay, add my money. So,
Mason sits up from his spot at the table. Well, your next match isn't booked quite yet, but we'll be in touch. Both of you have different opponents to branch out from, but I'm certain you'll circle back.
yeah. Vegas will look to Darnell. And no matter what, you'll always be my first opponent.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna
Well,
win the next
yeah.
match.
I'm gonna
For
beat
certain.
your ass.
No, I'm gonna kick your ass.
I'm gonna destroy you. And he's like pounding his fist into his palm, like across the room.
He is just kind of like flexing and like posing at this point.
Aspen's just watching.
Yeah, you're just watching this weird testosterone match happening.
Grandstanding at opposite sides of the room. Excellent.
All right, I got coin to spin, and without like any warning, he kind of like hops the railing off the second floor.
Bye. See you later, Mason. Stairs are for chumps. And I'm gonna jump off the railing too.
Make me a next saving throw.
Shit.
That one now.
That'd be so funny.
Beef
I'm gonna beef it. Watch.
Jumps off, falls flat on his face.
Vegas finds the basement.
Makes a basement.
Damn.
Almost.
Okay. You attempt to leap over the edge. you see Darnell has already made it out the door at this point by the time you've gone over the railing. So they're not around to see it, but you land
That's
like
fine.
flat belly first onto a nearby table. It doesn't break, thankfully.
I just knock the wind out of myself and roll off. Like,
Yeah.
oh.
Aspen and Mason can look over the railing and just kind of like see you now rolling off onto the floor.
I walk it off like a champ, though.
Aspen's
I'm gonna
just gonna
performance
walk down
check
the
to walk it
stairs
off.
like a normal person with brain cells to rub together.
No.
Yeah, I played it off.
Yeah, you managed to play it off pretty well. Mason shouts from the balcony, though. I'll let Dion know when your next match and opponent is. It'll be less of a surprise, and hopefully they can route along with wherever your Delver and crew are currently moving.
Right.
You should host it in ring this time.
Where?
In a ring, in a fighting arena.
Oh, like right here, gesturing to the ring in the bar.
Yeah. Makes a lot more sense than a bridge.
It depends, but we'll see. A lot of people like the excitement of a sudden improv fight out in the streets. It's whatever
okay,
draws attention.
I liked it.
But, ale.
We'll fight you here later, Aspen.
Okay.
Stage is open at night for drinking contenders.
How do the guards usually place their wagers?
Are you asking Mason?
Yeah.
Technically, the Alamanian guards aren't supposed to be wagering stuff.
Wink, wonk, wink, wonk.
Just kind of like grins. Anything else I can do for you?
Nope. See you later.
Knock 'em dead, kid.
I will.
Although not literally, because that is against the rules.
Good job. You're learning so fast.
Improvement. Alrighty. So, I imagine both of you will head to the guardhouse to reconnect with the rest of the group?
Yeah.
Okay, so the rest of the group. You, I assume you're going back to the original guardhouse where Aspen was detained.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, you get there. It's not any more or less busy than it was before. You see the same desk clerk working behind, his desk, drinking coffee, and doesn't even really kind of like look up at you as you step inside.
So, Vanya,
Yeah.
be the one that's gonna report this?
Just trundles over to the desk, hops up onto the desk so I can
Aw.
be seen,
Oh.
and just kind of sits with the knees pointing to where I've come, but turned to look at the guard. She just, so, you're still drinking that?
He doesn't even like raise his head, but his eyes kind of like look up to meet you. Yep. Why? Do you want some?
Pity you. No. Anyway, so
He takes a real big sip.
no crimes, hopefully. But so we were in Dole recently, and they had an issue with a group that the guard captain there will probably hate that I'm telling you about. But they were wearing, and she's gonna glance around the room a sec. Is it just us and the guard?
I mean, there are other like Alamanian guards like coming and going.
But
the most
it's
part.
just guards. There's no okay. They were wearing these entirely, I think, iron masks. making like a disguise sort of thing, and they were targeting Brethren, hurting them. We heard from one of them that they had people here in Louvain.
He
was
cycling.
wondering if you've seen anything about that.
He's cycling through his paperwork at the moment. Takes another big sip of the coffee. It doesn't particularly sound familiar. You can always ask the Knight Captain.
Could that be possible?
He kind of like reaches up and points down the hall towards an office.
I can just go down there? Well, all of us? Points to the 5 other people with her.
Looks up to the entire delving crew you brought with you. Takes another real
witnesses.
big sip. No longer my problem once you walk down there.
She's gonna reach into her pack and slide across a little bag. It's got a little bit of coffee in it, grinds. That'll do you about 5 cups. It's way better than that swill you got over there. She hops down and starts moving her way back towards the office, kind of beckoning the others.
He's like picking it up and looking at it, and he's looking a little confused. Yeah. You head down further to the hall, and it's pretty easy to spot this particular room that was pointed out to you. Who's knocking?
Vanya's gonna pull a set forwards. Is that you should maybe knock? You give off a, how do I put this? A classier look.
An air of authority, if you will.
Yeah.
Sure enough.
And you're not as brash as she looks at Ignatius.
I'm going to knock on the door.
Alright. You knock on the door, and you hear a voice within saying, "Yes, come in."
Iset leads the way in and gestures to the rest of the party to follow along.
Yep.
Pouring in.
You see the Knight Captain, Veronica, who you'd met before. She is not in her armor the first time, like she originally was. She is dressed a little bit more casually. You can see that she's got like Timberwolf colors. She's got like a very darker coat with a almost kind of a little bit of like orange, kind of like tufts along her chest. And she looks up towards you, still wearing like the porcelain mask on one side of her face, and is like, "Oh, I was hoping to see your group again. What brings you here?"
Well, sorry, hi. We came to ask, well, mostly me, we came to ask about if you've seen a strange group of people. They wear iron masks, hooded, meant to look like other beasts, but very basic looking. They're targeting and hurting brethren. We saw them in Dole, and some of their members said that they had people up here in Louvain.
I think I'm familiar. Not the mass part though. We've had a couple of more ill-tempered drunkards who have gone out and picked fights specifically with brethren.
Do you know of anyone that mentioned a razor grin? They were one of the ones in Dole that we helped get them captured. But...
No, unfortunately the name's not familiar.
Okay. So, in Dole we were dealing with a captain Phelps. I was just concerned that they got up here and are doing. Well, I just don't want the same thing that happened there to be happening here as best I can. And I know you've got so much to do here, but any leads might help. I don't know, cut the weed out before it gets too heavily rooted.
I think I understand what you're trying to convey. I'll open up a line with Jason. It's been a while since I've talked to him.
She smiles a little bit at that. Send him my best. I'm Vanya.
I'll make sure to mention you. How is he, by the way?
Last
He's
we
better
saw
than
him
Usual.
a little black and blue, maybe, but otherwise good.
That sounds like him.
Is he always so
brash?
nods?
Yes. I trained him.
You seem a lot nicer.
Well, I try to be. Some people are off-put by the mask.
I could see why maybe, but it's kind of pretty.
Thank you. Anyone can make me a general perception check right now.
Yeah, on edge is the word of today.
So,
So good at perceiving.
I have a new cantrip, and I'm going to be annoying about this until we get things solidified.
2.
I have guidance.
Oh, good.
Can I guidance myself or no?
That wasn't one
It'd
of
be
the
a
banned spells, was it?
Oh god,
Guidance
is it?
Let me double
yeah.
check.
If it is, I'll have to...
There was a couple spells that are banned. I feel like guidance was one of them.
Uh-oh.
Let's see.
Yeah,
I'm looking
it
at
is.
lore.
On page 386, the following spells are not on any class's spell lists. Guidance, create, destroy water, fabricate, good
All right.
regenerate,
Yeah.
curse.
In
I'm gonna be changing that.
Yeah, the campaign rundown tab. You can see it under point rule 2. It has all the banned spells there.
My bad. I'm gonna go fix that, but first
Don't
perception.
worry.
Norman broke the rules. 1,000.
Again?
You
Oh my
entered
God.
Jackal territory.
Alright,
I
let's take a
don't
look at
need
these.
guidance.
It'd also be kind of weird you just suddenly start enchanting in the middle of the room. Not gonna lie.
Sorry, I had to find the page. Yes. Everybody present, would notice that, not on the mask in particular, but, around her neck, yeah. She has a necklace that stands out as being a, what would some people consider to be the holy symbol of Abad.
Oh, okay.
You do notice that it is similar in shape, but the colors are different. They are pink and blue.
Would that prompt a religion check? That's not a thing. No, it is. It is.
Religion or history.
Just for japes, I'm gonna get in on that.
And all of us are in a position to see this, right?
Yes, anyone who's in the room.
I'm equally bad at either of these.
Oh, cool, map 1.
You rolled a 1 and got the same result as me.
Give me a second. All religion in the second. Placing without spell. Yeah, I'm a specialist at that. Again!
Stop it.
Hey, it's better this than air.
True.
Okay.
Yes, keep rolling 20, see.
rolls.
Yeah, that's a 1 in 400 chance. It had to have happened sooner or later.
All right. So Vanya, Aski, and Charlotte, you know that Abode is the Sun Bull. He is a divine entity, but you also know that there's a particular devotion group amongst them that are referred to as the Light of Self. And when one particular individual no longer identifies with the gender they were assigned to, they go through a pilgrimage of sort. And when they come out on the other side, they find who they truly are. And the blue and pink colors of Abade's symbol are representative of those who practice this particular belief.
Charlotte won't say anything, but realizes, understands, and still carries on. Well, carries on her silence.
Oh, I see. Squee. I see.
Cool,
Squee.
Gender quest. All right.
Sorry, did you say gender quest?
I mean, that's kind of what it sounds like.
I love it.
I know what it is.
I like it, but you know.
Oh, can I ask a favor as well? If you could, we're going to be in Louvain for a little while. If you do hear from him, I know it's going to maybe take a little while. Would you let me know?
Of course. Where are you staying, so I know where to find you?
Oh, it's in it's Vegas's estate. I forget the name of it. Did he give us a name?
No.
It's a really old estate. It's kind of run down. It's very run down.
Managed by an Ovi named Delilah.
Oh, the old, I'm gonna butcher your name. I'm not trying to do it on
No,
purpose.
it's just Grimmish. Just
Grimmish,
not even-
yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, the old Grimmish estate.
Oh, okay. Good to know. All right, yeah, there for now. I'll let you know when we leave. It's important to me. I want to make sure that this is sort of looked over. I know it's a lot to ask.
It's not too big a deal. I try to keep on to most things that are happening in the city. Speaking of, Ignatius, was it?
That is correct.
I have a little bit of information for you after our last conversation.
Is that so?
If you wish for this to be private, I can wait, of course.
I do believe this best to be handled as a private matter, yes.
Very well. She kind of gestures to everyone else to kind of step outside.
He said that so without question, but does try her best just listening from the other side of the wall.
Give me an insight check, is that?
Just don't do what you did to Feltz. As she walks out of the room.
It said as you're walking out, you notice that she's kind of smiling at you for a moment before trying to divert her attention quickly to Ignatius.
He said just smiles back but says nothing.
Yeah. A ski is absolutely stepping out without any comment or complaint, but then also communicating with Thalkiel. Do you want to see what's so sensitive that it needs to be kept away from prying ears, my shadow?
Mm,
Let's
does
have a
sound like
private
fun.
matter. 4 people immediately start conniving schemes. You people are insufferable. Never change. I love it.
That's great. He always does this.
Oh, I just bit my tongue. Ah.
Oh, it's fortunate
Just
because you
wait
didn't
until
do
I
some
can
talking.
possess things.
So the door closes. You feel Thalkiel shifting away from you, sliding under the door. The room is not too well lit, so Thalkiel doesn't have any problem blending in with the shadows. Who else was eavesdropping?
I was.
Vanya's also got one of her massive ears up against the keyhole to the door.
Charlotte,
me.
yeah, Charlotte, you're just watching the rest of your crew being super nosy.
Ears gang.
Yeah, I'm just gonna step away and like try to mind my own manners.
Alright, Vanya and Aset, give me perception checks. We're gonna see how well you can hear.
Damn.
I
Not
could win
very.
and got another nat 20, but anyway.
Aset, you're able to hear, just fine.
Oh,
The
good.
wall is not thick enough. But anyways, Ignatius.
Ignatius will nod and take a seat if available, or otherwise stand awkwardly in front of the desk.
There's a pretty decent sized chair, so you can sit if you wish.
So he does.
Veronica takes a moment, and she's shifting through a couple papers on her desk, and then pulls one up. Well, when you, came to me the other day and mentioned the Silver Claw Company, I was almost certain that they weren't active anymore, but it seems that I was wrong. They still exist under the same moniker, but they've changed practices a bit. They're still militarized, privately, of course, but they're not outwardly selling their strength. They're weapons manufacturers now.
Huh. That's an interesting change in course.
Yes, from what little information I've been able to gather is they are mining silver out of Trisoli. That area is relatively untouched when the dungeon first came up, as it kind of drove locals away. So a lot of the silver mines in that area have been vacated. But it sounds like they've moved in and taken control of the area. And they're currently distributing arms and armor across the beast world.
This is something that's happening not just in Vinyo or Alamance, is it?
I can't say that I've seen any of their shipments come through here, but it wouldn't surprise me. They're known to have pretty decent connections. They were quite popular in the war.
I'm just intrigued as to the change. What was the town you said? Or the mine? Where was that located?
Over in, Trisoli.
Trisoli, thank you. Could you point to that on the map real quick for me?
Yes, Trisoli are 3 islands that vacate, north of Aloris.
Oh, I see it, thank you.
It was a port city for a while, but the dungeon monsters have originally taken over parts of the islands, and it sounds like the Silver Claw Company have taken it back.
That's not their MO. Well, Intriguing. Thank you for this information. I tend to stay in touch if I find anything new myself while I'm still in town.
Of course. I will assume you're staying with the rest of your companions.
I am indeed.
Okay. I will know where to find you. Did you have any other questions for me?
Ignatius will stand up, offer a polite goodbye, and say, "That shall be all for the moment, or at least I hope so."
Oh, there was one more thing.
Go on. Feel free.
Your, She looks a little bit more, embarrassed? At the moment, she's definitely seeming a bit more flustered at this point. Your jackal companion, is she available?
Yo.
Ignatius is just gonna make that noise for a little longer. A little longer. I think so? She hasn't made any mention of people in a relationship. Has she actually?
No.
Of course, the Aborde worship
Can I,
is asking this.
I don't
Yeah,
think
said a
Ignatius would
word
even
about
remember
numbers,
it if it
current or
brought up.
previous.
Yeah. Ignatius is gonna offer her a polite shrug and say, "I do believe she's open, but apologies if I'm leading you on."
Oh, okay. Well, if she's interested, I was thinking of going to the Twisted Whiskers tonight. If, she's available, I'll be there. She's kind of, very, embarrassed at this point.
Ignatius is gonna be cool as a cucumber. He's gonna give her a thumbs up and say, "I will do my best to push her that way." He is an excellent
She's shuffling
matchmaker.
papers on her desk, and it looks like she's trying to organize them. In reality, she is just moving them. They're not being they're not being organized any better or worse.
I'm going to step out of the room before this gets any worse. Is that all right with you?
Yes, please. She's slinking into the chair.
Is
He
Set
will-
hearing all of this?
He said immediately steps away from the wall, just makes it look like she hasn't been trying to eavesdrop or anything like that.
He will give a second, this time very quite awkward bow, and will leave the room.
Alright, Thalkiel, noticing you taking off, will immediately slip back under the door towards, Aski. Ooh, there's a lot of juicy drama happening in that room.
You'll have to regale me with it when we have a moment.
Alright, Ignatius, you open the door, and all your companions are standing there waiting.
Vanya falls into the room.
Looking the other direction, 10 feet away from everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, Ski is also a ways away since she had a remote listener.
Ignatius will acknowledge the presence of his companions, but not say anything of it. He'll just sort of walk out and say, "Alright, the discussion has concluded. Where to next, everyone?"
Books!
Books
The
it
archive,
is!
yes.
Scrambles to her feet.
And with that, we will go on break.
Wow.
Set walks into a room, makes someone instantly fall in love. Let's go!
Oh my god.
Absolutely
I will
smitten.
be right back.
I'll be right back too.
Same.
Okay, I'm back. Who's here?
It's me.
Cool.
Welcome back.
I live.
Welcome back.
I kind of think a ski might be the only person who can't say that.
What part?
Live is a trivial word and needs to be redefined. I'm gonna go see Blue Man Group tomorrow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Alright, calm down, everyone. I am a lesbian.
Yeah, I have references for her because she has art that's being worked on.
My God.
I
I am back.
We can be.
Thank you. I have green tea. Not me only just realizing quite how dexterous Vanya actually is. If we're talking statistics. Like a 20 in a stat is like Olympian levels.
Man, I'm rolling those 20s again.
Right?
You
On a
better hope I'm
roll.
expending it here. Because next air will be nasty.
Just looking at Ignatius's 3 18s.
Right? The rolls have been pretty great. And of course, we're not in combat.
Hey, knowledge is power. I learned that from a thing when I was little.
Right?
All those 20s in that one air session, forever funny.
15.
You blue screened your computer.
I achieved heaven. Ah, uh-oh. I have reset the login. That was not the power I wanted.
Yeah, no, you just kind of exploded when you hit that 15. Your computer was just like, nah,
My computer's cleaned out now.
this isn't allowed. I have that hair. That's my hair.
Didn't you also roll like 4 nat 20s in a row, Jay? During
I did.
Heckna?
That
yeah,
was
against
yeah.
Vecna.
Against the god of secrets.
It's
Just
fine.
knowing what he is.
We're just gonna remove him from existence soon. So
Not Radis's fucking problem.
right.
Radis, I know what you are. Leaves. Won't even see the end of it.
No, that's the funny thing. She didn't, even with those rolls. There's no way she would have known because she wasn't. She's not from Faerun or any of the other realms that matters to. She's just like, huh, an old man. Okay, just carries on with her business.
To be able to do that to a god is very funny. It's like,
it completely checks out because the equivalent of Vecna from her world is another very powerful necromancer, and her husband managed to talk him out of his jacket so he could have the jacket from the the very powerful necromancer, and is currently walking around with that on.
Rare this out here, like, what is a god to a non-believer?
Exactly.
oh
And our
no.
turn.
Foundry's not loading in for me. Hell.
Keep
Oh, no.
refreshing.
Give me a.
Refresh like your life depends on it.
It could.
If all
Oh,
else
is
fails,
that her hair? Nice.
Yeah.
close out of
Very
your browser
pretty.
entirely. It is a very nice haircut, and I'm
Yeah.
not biased at all.
Yeah, those are some of the reference images for the artwork that I'm having of her.
I love, again, just gonna keep saying this, love that Iset just walked into that room and that woman fell apart.
I believe in the industry they call that being down bad.
Just have that effect on people.
Mm-hmm. Clearly, we need to have Iset walk into rooms before
Yay.
everybody else first, more often. Weaponize that sex
give them
appeal.
give them an opportunity to fall in love at first sight.
Yep. Last thing they want's a scrungly little mouse.
Alrighty. Looks like everybody's back.
Or am I?
Oh, well, I guess we're going anyways.
Damn.
Joke's on you. Alrighty. So, Vegas and Aspen, you managed to catch up with your group as they are stepping out of the guardhouse. And they mentioned that they're heading towards the library again, though this time to like properly look at the collections.
How do you pronounce Vegas's surname again?
Grimace? Grimish?
Ramesh?
Close enough.
I'm gonna say Grimace, and even if
Yeah.
corrected, I will keep saying it.
Close
Vanya
enough.
looks to Vegas. I know your surname. And just kind of skips on towards the the books.
How could you?
Aspen's just like, ha, imagine having its own name.
Imagine being Aspen, and I walk away.
You should be so lucky.
Okay, what next?
The books.
No,
The
I imagined
archives.
The
Aspen.
archives, yes.
All right.
I'm gonna find a picture book because I'm a martial class.
You head back to the library of the gate, and I'm hearing word that some people are wanting to look at the archives specifically.
Yes.
Okay. Heading over towards that way. Cicero has gotten you back behind here once before, and the same clerk is working there. Sees you all approaching. Doesn't see Cicero, but takes a moment to look at each of you. Do you require access to the archives at the moment?
Ignatius will just sort of point at Cicero.
Cicero's not there.
Oh, I thought you said he was... Sorry, I thought you said he was with us but not seen. My apologies.
Nope. He was with you last time and got you in, but he's not here now.
Okay, got it. My apologies. Misunderstood that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'd like to go down there.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, please.
Okay. Let me grab an attendant real quick. And she unlocks the door. Lets you all pass by. And a canine approaches. A Dalmatian figure. Man. And he's just... I'll show you the way. Just kind of like leads you further down into the archive sections. And you have free reign to look around. The attendant's kind of like keeping a somewhat close eye on people, just to make sure like nothing's happening to any of the books. What are people looking for?
Aspen's looking for anything related to cooking.
This might be a stretch, but I'm looking for anything concerning the history of excavations and dungeons from the Delving Group, if there's any sort of catalog or journal or anything.
Okay.
Looking for anything that can lead to more information on if there's other people like a ski with Valkyr.
Ignatius is gonna grab some overly complex books about the Astral Sea that he's definitely not prepared for, and will try to corner a set by herself for a moment to talk with her privately.
Oh boy. By sheer luck, I'm looking for books on the same subject, so that'll be pretty easy.
Oh,
Yeah, in
convenient.
that case, if Ignatius is going after Iset first, then Ski will accompany Vanya in that line of research for now.
In this instance, Charlotte and Aspen make investigation checks, and then Vanya or Ski, you can make an investigation check at advantage, and same with Iggy and Iset. One of you can make a
Alright.
check at advantage.
I think Iset should get the check
Alright.
at advantage.
Yeah, who of us has a better investigation check? Because I have a +5.
I get,
Love
yeah,
how
it's
my
you.
rolls are all
It's
fit
you.
today.
+3 here.
Oh, well, hot damn.
Double
218s.
Better than a Ski.
Double 18, 23.
Sorry, what did you say?
Better than a Ski, so you go.
Okay. Oh, I didn't roll an advantage. Oops. Good thing I did. Yeah.
Alrighty. Aspen, digging around through the archives, a lot of this seems to be primarily historical or arcane in some nature. There doesn't seem to be any detailed deep dive preservation of like any kind of ancestral cooking or anything like that, unfortunately.
Fair. Aspen is gonna find the attendant and ask. Then, Where will I find some of the Colonelian books?
Oh, I don't believe we have anything like that in the archives, particularly. We might have some traditional books like that upstairs, though. Just in the normal library.
Ah, I am in the wrong section. Aspen's just gonna yell through the archives, and I will be going back upstairs.
Please don't
Thank you,
yell, this
Aspen.
is the library.
Yes, I am aware that it is a library.
Just kinda like...
Just like awkward stare. It's like, yeah, and
just kinda like covering his ears, because he was right next to you when you started shouting. Okay, well, keep it down, please.
Aspen's gonna head back upstairs and start looking for cookery books.
Alright, let's see. Who's next? Charlotte! Looking for anything... You said something about excavations in the dungeon.
Yeah.
Anything specific about that?
Like any particular like artifacts, items that were obtained from the dungeon.
Let's see. When it comes to looking around for dungeon-based material, there's kind of slim pickings because the dungeon is still relatively new. From what little you do find, tends to mention Dungeon Town specifically, something you are already a little bit familiar with, being the largest dungeon to exist in Vigneaux that has persisted for many years now, and it has just had all sorts of interesting items come out of it. They are mostly magical items of various qualities, but in terms of, like, genuine artifacts, it's kind of a long shot for the most part. Most people have not fully explored Dungeon Town to know if there are any further secrets hidden within.
Alright, just gonna fume over it while I have my new cool shape box out.
You know, I actually forgot something for that, so I'll get back to you in a second.
Alright.
Oh boy.
Ignatius and his set. Yeah, with a 23, you definitely find a book on the Astral Sea, kind of the general nature of how it currently exists, how people have been able to traverse through it, as well as sort of like a very, very brief history. This book seems to be more new than some of the other books in the archives, as it details the emergence of the bat species that exists out in the Astral Sea. There are also suggestions that there are other places out there beyond the Beast World, the ancestral homeland, and so on. But most of it remains unexplored and undiscovered. You do get a couple references to the Absolute Veil, but it's a little bit more obscure. It seems like a lot of the information you got from the Astral Path kind of cleared those particular questions up. Was there anything in particular you wanted to know about this Astral Sea?
Ignatius would like I don't want to say college freshman primer. Can we go for like middle school to high school level explanation on the astral plane? We're looking at a 10 intelligence fellow. We need to start with the basics. Like a pamphlet will do.
10 is average, my guy.
It's okay. Listen, the Astral Sea is complex.
I mean, I wouldn't expect a 10 intelligence character to know much about the Astral Sea for the same reason I wouldn't know, like, the average person to know a whole lot about, like, deep space.
Okay, fair.
Tell me what a quasar is. You know it. You know it's a star, but tell me about it. See what I mean?
Alright, I had to pull up the book again. Anyways,
That was one of those rhetorical question moments, right?
Oh yeah, I have no idea what a quasar is. Just like a star that flashes, I think.
It's actually not even a star, it's a galactic nucleus. Like a really, really,
See?
really active one.
Oh, it's the star birthing ground, right? No, that's
Nebula.
a nebula.
okay, so the basic summary that you get is that the Astral Sea is in of itself a world, but it is also the space that exists around all the other worlds that are suspended within it. So it has, in a way, it's kind of its own ecosystem. A lot of it is unexplored, because it is just vast oceans of stars and such. But the bat denizens who live there basically are able to traverse through it with ease, like you were able to because of their natural flight capabilities. Other individuals can navigate through somewhat similar methods at a little bit of a slower pace. It is also known that astral crafting is something that individuals can attempt while in the sea. Depending on one's skill, they could create various objects that persist within the astral sea for either a set amount of time or potentially permanently.
Cool. While this is happening, Ignatius will sort of like sidle up to Iset. So,
Yes.
that very nice Miss Veronica would like to meet you tonight at the Twisted Whisker, was it? She wants a nice dinner. You know what I mean.
Oh, I think I know exactly what you mean.
Ignatius will detach and move back at the same pace he has done. He has delivered his message.
Simply smiles at Mona Lisa's smile of hers.
Due diligence has been completed. Ignatius has done his job. He's wiping his hands clean of this matter.
My job here is done. Iset, were you looking for anything in particular? For the Astral Sea, that is.
I suppose try to find more information on what lies beyond it, although there probably isn't a whole lot of info on that.
Digging through, yes. Unfortunately, a lot of what people believe exists beyond the veil is pretty much rumor, superstition, or based off
A lot of conjecture.
Yeah. The only thing that people know for a fact that comes from beyond the veil are fiends, devils, demons, and all sorts of manners of horrific creatures. You in particular would also know that, at least from some of this research, that the fiends that are responsible, some of the fiends in particular can be summoned through the veil, and these individuals are the cause of vampirism.
Mm-hmm.
They're often referred to as the intruder.
yes.
Beyond that, very slim pickings regarding the veil.
Yeah. Kind of figures.
Is a abstract thing that most people cannot, physically study.
Perhaps checking with my fellow jackals sometime may be worth a shot, but
Could be an option. Alright.
that's for some other time.
Vanya and Aski. What'd you get? 21. And you were looking for what again, exactly?
Information on anyone that has had or is going through a similar relationship with a fiend as a ski. Like, apparently she doesn't remember a time without it, so anything similar to a ski's situation.
I will say that looking around enough, you do find something that kind of stands out. A older looking history book. It has a little bit of Arnarian writing on it. So it's a lot more familiar looking to you. And as you are searching through it, there's mention of a particular warlock that lives somewhere out in the close to the Caloro Grove, who has bonded supposedly with the fiend and uses him for alchemical purposes when it comes to making potions, as it were.
So uses him as an information source.
That is the presumption being made.
He actually milks them.
From the way that the story, because this is a kind of more of like a cautionary tale as it's listed.
Mm-hmm.
The individual did not have a choice in the matter. Some say that he was being possessed and was able to fight back in a way, and others says that he was, like a ski, born this way, attached to the fiend. But he's considered both a boogeyman, but also somebody to seek out for very particular medical advice.
Okay.
No description of species, though, so unclear of who they actually are.
And the location, so gendered but not named and not described. And the Caloro Grove is quite a big place, right? So it's not going to be easy.
Yes.
And do we have an impression of, like, how old this account is? Like, do we even have reason to believe that this person is still alive at this point?
This cautionary tale, as it were, dates back to, I want to say, 897, which would be, well, yeah, a little over 400 years old. So,
yeah,
unclear. But you also know that there are some species, so far, that have surpassed that age and are fine.
How long did you say? I didn't catch that.
What part?
How long he would have been alive, theoretically.
I've been roughly over 400.
Oh, yeah.
There's
might
two
know 'em.
people in your party older than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
Jim? Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, I've been around.
Oh, that old
It's a
fool.
Well,
It's a
on
place
the
to
off
look.
chance that our precedent here is, in fact, still around, is something to remember if we ever end up back in the Batyan.
Yeah, definitely. And he'll definitely, well, I don't know about you, but he interests me if he's still around. Obviously, he's a lot more connected to your end of the things than mine, but
Answers are answers nonetheless.
actually, while we're here, then I'm gonna look for anything else sort of relating to. I mean, without having to drop the subclass name all the time, looking for anything else that like tells stories of or mentions groups of people that are doing similar things to myself. While we're here, do you want me to do a separate investigation roll?
Yeah, you would need to make a separate roll for that.
Would you be willing to help, Husky?
It's only fair that she would help in return for first getting some that very good info about what's up with her. Hey, there you go.
Let's see.
That sheep help is all really good.
So from digging around, there is a particular Orient text that brings up a group of individuals who have been surviving in some of Oria's harsher climates by summoning and consuming demons. And they use this enhanced power in order to survive better, as well as hunt better. This is pretty taboo for Orient culture in general, but you also know that there are some parts of Oria that do practice necromancy in a way that they need in order to survive. But demons is a little bit more on the extreme end for this.
It sounds like a waste, but okay.
I wonder how it tastes.
If he was there, he'd have gotten an answer.
That was out of character muttering.
Oh, true. Yes, very true.
But it tastes like chicken.
Everything tastes like chicken and
Most versatile meat.
Orange chicken.
Are you sure it's not
General
chicken that tastes
Tso's.
like everything?
Hmm.
I taste like chicken.
Well, that's a second lead that makes me want to go to Aria. But that's a really long way away.
Yes, well, if the dungeon itself ever takes us out into that direction, clearly we have plenty to do.
Did it mention a location? Or just roughly that there are people that do that up there?
It seems to be mentioned as a, again, taboo practice, but there's no defined location or names of houses or anything like that.
People up there just do it to survive. Got it.
If they exist, they are likely remote from other people for a reason.
Yeah. The Johnny music in the background makes this even better. Alright. Okay. I didn't think this would be easy to find more things on, though I'm happy we found something about your situation, though it makes us go back there.
Anything else?
Am I able to research another topic, or is this it for...
What are you looking for? You got
The
access to a
practice.
pretty big selection.
The practice and standards of necromancy.
Oh god, the whole party now.
Oh.
Make me a separate investigation check.
A 15.
You dig through, and you find something is rather recent-ish. It is more historical tellings regarding the Invader War, but they go into a deeper detail about the supposed assistance that the invaders had from a powerful source within the beast world, a necromancer that people only refer to as the Dread Advisor. Considered to be one of the most powerful necromancers in all of the beast world, and yet nobody knows where they came from or where they have gone since the war was ended. Just that they created abominations, combinations of humans and beasts stitched together into horrible monstrosities that fought alongside the invaders, most of which were accounted for and slaughtered.
Taking a few notes of that, and going to put that book back and never read those horrible things again. If everyone else is covered, I'm covered.
Yeah, I'm good.
I would, if possible.
Please don't say you're looking for a book on necromancy.
No, I'm not looking for a book on necromancy. I would want to, if possible, see about
Reverse
pulling
healing.
pulling Iset aside for a bit to see if we can find any other writings or like writing in other languages that are similar to that Spellbreaker book we found in the Manors library before. Since we couldn't find that much about it at the time, maybe if we can find other writing, that might have more luck for us.
I will happily cooperate with that.
Okay. One of you can roll a investigation at advantage.
You.
All right. Oh. Bad roll.
It is fairly decent.
Why did the music stop?
Looking around, you find in one part of the section a book that seems to be written in a similar tone. It seems like this particular dialect of Vinyo has kind of like gone by the wayside now. Not something used as often anymore. There are words that you recognize, but some that have potentially shifted meanings.
Oh no, I'm reading the Beast World version of Romanian.
Oh god!
It catches your interest immediately because of the similar patterns, and looking through it, you learn of a very particular what is it? The word I'm looking for. a very strange martial provision. The Spellbreaker, as it were, is not a spell in of itself or even a weapon. It is a person.
Oh.
What you learn is that a Spellbreaker is a very powerful martial spellcaster who has mastered both physical prowess and intellectual mastery over the arcana. These adept individuals are so extraordinarily rare that less than 10 have been recorded across the history of the beast world. And the last known Spellbreaker died in the Invader War, at the very beginning of the war. It is
Damn.
because of its very rare practice, there was no one to share the knowledge of how to acquire these skills onwards. They did not take upon squires or apprentices, and those who attempted to do so on their own were often not in great stability. Whatever amount of training this required, it was considered extreme. But the practice itself seems to have come from Vigneault as a older tradition that some of the founding trade lords had invested into having a knight, as it were, that would stand as their army. And when trade lords came to blows with each other, these spellbreakers essentially would fight in their place instead of having, thousands of people kill each other.
Oh.
That's efficient, I guess.
But as far as these texts are concerning, they have gone long extinct. It is curious, though, why this particular book was in Vegas's estate.
An archaic account of a champion among champions. No, there is something more to what Vegas's family had been up to. If they're in Vigneault now,
Some
who
kind of
knows what they
family
could have gotten
history,
up to?
yes. Trying to recover a lost legacy, perhaps.
Or create a new one for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
What you guys talking about?
With that, Ski will tuck away the book that's actually from Vegas's home.
Jaunty music returns.
Yeah, no,
Girl
she just
talk, don't worry about it here.
She gives Vegas a look and she cackles some to herself and just kind of slips on by in her normal spooky way.
If it was anyone else that
Mhm.
did that, I'd be concerned, but this is kind of par for the course at this point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's just like that.
All is well then.
I'm going to be tracking down Aspen.
Aspen still looking, or possibly has found cookbooks.
Sitting or standing opposite of them. Going to just have my arms crossed, seeming confident. So I remember you said something about gods the other day.
Duh.
I just learned a little something earlier. I can speak to one right now.
That is strange.
Oh, he enjoys it as much as it is a thing. I think. Why else would a spell specifying him exist? I could
How
show
would you
it.
know if you were talking to a god or if it was just your own head?
Charlotte goes and thought, you would know. You would know if you heard a voice that you wouldn't be part of your thoughts, wouldn't you?
I think that is a condition.
Well, I can speak one question and get an answer.
I suppose that would be the answer if answer to question was something you couldn't know.
A little annoyed, I'm going to cast and say, where is Verasta?
Boy. Okay. You get back a very loud sigh in your head. And you're getting a pinging feeling that he's somewhere over in our area right now. For whatever reason.
Oh. He's east. Southeast, Arnaria. It's a big desert.
You could be making that up.
He just sighed in my head. That
Yeah.
supposedly is the clue that he's listening.
Gaslighting doesn't exist. You made it up.
That's my line.
You're
That's
fucking
my
crazy.
line, damn it!
That's fair. I still don't believe in them.
Well, maybe if we come across him, I'll show you to him.
Oh, I am sure they exist. I just do not believe in them. I have no belief to offer.
Oh, you don't, okay, that makes sense. I thought that's fair. Well, that's actually interesting. I didn't think it would work like that. And she's gonna wander off pondering because it apparently lasts an hour, and she just has the vibe.
Oh my god.
Just for the
Before you
next
go-
hour knows where he is.
Are you the only one that can do this?
No, it's not too complex a spell. It's
So-
just
There is a being of supposed high power in this world that numerous people can just bother at will.
Verasta is like that because he gets involved with people. He walks among us.
Duh, but the fact that you can annoy him whenever you wish is hilarious.
I wonder if he made some bad deal with another god or something for that to happen. Maybe he pissed off Beatrice. She made that spell happen.
You also know that people who've casted the spell can also get no response if Verasta himself does not wish to be found.
Well, it's a good thing I didn't embarrass myself then.
You could have just lied, for fun.
This is her first time casting it. It amazes even her. God tracker. Oh, it works.
Does it make like a sonar ping?
I don't know.
Just- It's just an amused sigh. Really?
If you want my honest opinion, I am less interested that you can contact a god and more happy that you have learned you have something new you can do.
Yeah, I only just recently learned this.
Your abilities, your progression, that is more important to me than any god.
Charlotte is gonna reflect on that personally while still having that lingering thought. Varos is in our area. And that's all for me.
Did I find
Alrighty.
any cookbooks upstairs?
Yeah, you got pointed into the more like culinary focused sections.
Good. Aspen's collecting recipes. And if there's no one looking, Aspen might be tearing recipes they like out of books,
Ooh.
stuffing them in pockets.
You're gonna need to make a stealth check if you're actually tearing things out. If you're copying things down, I don't think anyone will mind, but can't damage books.
I don't think they're being super stealthy about it.
Alright.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I don't want
So
to have
no-
to bail you out a second time.
So no stealth checks.
I mean, can I
I could use Sagecraft to copy things.
Because, like,
This is a very big public library. The chances that someone's going to see you is pretty high.
Charlotte's right there as well. Like, you could word against this.
just mid-conversation, just... Ooh.
That looks tasty, Rip.
Okay.
Yeah, no stealth checks.
Alright. So, Charlotte, you notice that while you're having these conversations, Aspen is quite literally tearing pages out of books.
Alright. What are you doing?
I'm collecting recipes for years later.
You're going to get kicked out.
Why?
Because you're committing vandalism.
No, I am collecting the recipes.
I'm gonna cast Hold Purse on Aspen.
Oh my god!
Don't you have mend or something? This feels like an escalation, and that's coming from me.
I'm trying to prevent a crisis from worsening. Also,
You are
I-
causing a scene.
I disconnect reconnected. So it didn't cast for some reason. Aspen's gonna need to make a wisdom saving throw or become paralyzed.
Sure, how do we do a saving photo? It's just,
Click your
the
wisdom.
stats and it'll let you set a save or check.
Yeah.
there we go.
Money.
Oh my
Dirty
god.
20.
Oof.
So, Aspen, you watch as Charlotte attempts to cast some kind of spell on you, and you can feel like almost like pressure as if something is trying to keep you in place, but you shrug it off.
You better put those back, please.
Just Aspen's expression just drops for a moment, just like dead serious for a moment. It's just like, you do not have the power to hold me.
You can't contain me.
You
I
can just
I can break these
tell
cups.
me why you think this is wrong.
Because it is a library. A library is a place where books are lent out to the public to read and research. And if you're destroying them, that can't go to anyone else.
I'm not destroying them, I am making use of them. But I should not, I assume.
No.
So what, must I rewrite all of these recipes?
I can help you with that.
Then I should put these back.
Alright. Thankfully, with my new cantrip, I do have mending.
Aspen just reaches into their pockets and pulls out like 18 crumpled.
Oh my
Oh my
god!
They've been at this for a while.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that's gonna take 18 minutes.
Yep, it is.
You're killing Charlotte, you know that,
You
right? Like,
also
you
have-
just popped a blood
You also have
vessel.
to realize that some of these have been taken out of books that Aspen's already put back up.
Okay, hang on. I gotta object for a second. Aspen does not know the Dewey Decimal System. I feel like you could find these books super easily just because of how they're jammed in.
I don't even think they've been put back. I think they want to pop them on the end of the table.
Oh my god!
So yeah, you don't know which pages go to which book.
And the ones from the pocket are not folded, they're scrunched.
Oh. You're gonna help me put this back together so we have this never happen. You can be here as long as you want. You can get whatever you want.
I will help on one condition.
That being...
You tell me your favorite meal.
Oh. When I repair everything, I'll tell you.
Duh, deal.
Alright, 18 minutes plus finding the book.
Okay, make me an Arcana check. I want to see how efficiently you can do this.
Oh, that's 17.
Decent.
Okay.
I think while Charlotte's doing the actual magical mending, Aspen will be like trying to match up pages to books.
So the combined effort is able to shave the time down, and you are able to get through these pretty quickly before anyone immediately notices that some of the books have been tampered with. And you manage to get all 18 pages back to where they belong, hopefully in the right order. And nobody seems to have noticed.
It's close enough. One's upside down.
They'll just think it's a misprint.
Crisis
Alright.
averted.
Alright. So. I am a simple woman. I like tuna salad.
I do like fish. This is a good choice.
I didn't eat much fish where I grew up, but I was with someone, my best friend ever, Garrett, introduced me to all kinds of food. We'd go out every town we've been through, and I came across tuna salad. It was incredible.
What sort of salad do you mix with the fish? Do you have a favorite? Or...
From my memory... So this is going to be a very funny question. To the DM, does mayonnaise exist in Beast World?
Imagine some form of mayo could exist, yeah. I don't see why not.
I mean, yeah, it is kind of an egg.
It's produced from eggs, so not unlikely.
Well, it requires a bit of celery, mayonnaise, plenty of it needs to be creamy. Goes with toasted bread.
Aspen's just like nodding along, like you can kind of see there's cogs turning in there at the moment.
Can't believe I asked the question if mayonnaise exists in Beast World.
Okay, hang on. Can we say it's like a brethren thing? I feel like that'd be
Oh my
fun.
god!
Ignatius slowly signing an application form to the ferals with that question.
I just think it'd be funny if Hellmans existed in Beast World, okay?
That is... I think I can do that.
Alright, I'll help you copy the recipes and everything. And gonna help with that, thank goodness I have ink. And my own book.
That is helpful, yeah. I appreciate your help. And you're probably not getting me arrested again.
I don't want to get you arrested, I don't want you in trouble. I understand you don't like it here.
To be fair, library not so bad. Much quieter, but yeah.
And that was all handled fine.
Library crisis averted. Aspen didn't get arrested twice.
Yay.
Because that would have definitely escalated.
No,
We've
I can
set
fight my way out
sort
that
of
one.
record, I suppose.
Alright. So, you all reconvene. It is now pushing later into the evening now. Dusk is starting to fall.
Mm-hmm.
what are your plans?
Get back to the estate before it gets crazy inside.
I have a date at Twisted Whisker.
So I need to go to the Veterans Union.
Oh boy. These are both dramatic things, so...
Is Ignatius saying where he's going? Not Ignatius, sorry. Vegas saying where he's going.
Vegas.
Yeah, specifically, I'm only going to tell Vanya and invite her with.
Oh, okay. That stops me from doing what I was going to do.
Follow anyways.
Yeah.
The conversation would probably go something like, "Hey, you're a thief, right?"
No.
So the Thieves Army is recruiting me, and I need your help because you're the closest thing to a thief I know.
I'll take that as a compliment. Let's go.
Just silently finger guns and...
He says to the person who's never stolen anything.
She has.
Yeah.
My heart.
She stole that Feral's
we're going
pocket
to the
change.
Veterans Union.
You mean the
Well, I'm
one
over
that was
here
already
stealing
dead,
papers.
or...?
The unconscious one. The
That's
one she
still
got
theft.
The one she got Falkiel to knock out.
Anyway.
Okay, so a visit to the Veterans Union, and then we also have the date with the set. I'm going to focus on Isette's one for right now, because it's probably going to take up the rest of the night.
Oh boy.
Nope, that was a little loud.
Should I dim the lights or something?
No.
I have something I want Ignatius to do, but that can be handled outside of the session.
Alright. We can touch on it next session as well. Anyways. Isette, do you do anything in particular to prepare?
I suppose, like, make sure she's, like, groomed, but, like, she normally dresses, like, so extravagantly anyhow that, like, dressing up specifically for the date is kind of pointless.
He always looks good.
I'm always dressed drop dead gorgeous.
Okay, so that was a joke you were going for. Got it.
Alright. So yes, you already are familiar with the Twisted Whiskers, and you start making your way towards it as night begins to fall. Do you let any of your other companions know where you're going? Besides Ignatius, of course.
I suppose I tell Charlotte, but other than that, no.
What do you say to Charlotte?
So I have a bit of a date night going here. Could you be so kind as to tell the others that I'm not going to be at the estate until late?
With who?
You met her before, Sir in Black Shield.
Oh! Have you known each other before?
Not yet, but...
Okay, I'll let them know. Good luck.
Thank you. And with those words, she's off.
Alright. I feel like I found the wrong song. I don't remember where it was.
It's a dating quest.
This isn't quite dating music now.
Yeah.
It's romantic conquest.
Let's see. May have to cycle these real quick. They got a buffer. Okay. You make your way over to the Twisted Whiskers, and the bouncer at the door. I assume you are not armed at this point.
No.
Okay. Yeah, he just checks you over real quick, gives you a nod, and lets you in. And as you pass further into the parlor, you see there's quite a few more people in here than there was the previous night that you had been here. There are quite a few people who have gathered around and are looking up toward the stage, which is currently empty at the moment, but it looks like they're kind of getting ready for some kind of performance that is coming up. And you see over near a booth by herself, wearing a very pretty black dress that has sort of like an orange, sort of like an inlay of orange. It's not like a glow, but they are like, as the dress moves, you can see these kind of like shining parts of orange.
Like an iridescence, almost.
Yeah, like an iridescence. That's the word I was looking for. And she's currently sitting there, still wearing the porcelain mask, and as soon as she sees you enter, she almost kind of like turns to stone. Just kind of like sitting in place. She wasn't entirely sure you were going to show up.
Didn't expect me to show up.
So yeah, she's not waving you over anything. She is just kind of dumbstruck.
Make sure to brag about how cool I was telling you.
Yeah, no, Zed is going to like calmly wander over, daintily take a seat across her. Good to see you on this fine night.
Yes, I wasn't certain if you were going to get my message. That your dragon friend is a curious individual.
Oh, he quite is.
Though I am a lot more fascinated by you.
Do elaborate now, sweetheart.
Well, hard to describe. You walk with a sense of confidence that I don't really see in many individuals. You seem very certain of yourself, and it's something I admire in a person.
Thank you. I'll say you do look quite gorgeous yourself tonight.
I appreciate that. I don't have much evening wear, so I was doing my best to just dress to impress. It's kind of like she is very clearly nervous.
Oh, don't you worry about it now.
Well, I was hoping to get to know a little bit more about yourself. Your name's Iset, correct? I caught that right?
Iset Nafatari, yes.
And you already know my name, of course.
Veronica, was it? Yes.
Yes. Some people call me V. This is gonna sound like a silly question, but where do you come from? I don't want to presume that the Sealy or the Dreaming is just where every jackal lives.
Oh, I've wandered the world for quite a while now, but in more recent years, I've been based out of Port Vega.
In Vineo.
Have you lived in Louvain all your life?
She smiles a little bit at this point. She seems to slowly be like working through the anxiety jitters.
Mm-hmm.
I moved to Louvain, I want to say about 10 years ago, training to be a knight. But I'm also from Vigno, actually.
Oh.
Yes,
Oh, what a lovely surprise.
born in Aloris.
Mm-hmm.
But after the war and everything, I decided I wanted to have a change of pace. So I came to Louvain to just get a new start on life. And I very good at being in charge of others, apparently.
So you are. Oh, but out of character, I'm not entirely sure what to say.
That's valid. She looks up towards the stage a bit. Well, I'm glad you came on this particular night. Usually there's a more... It's not that packed in here usually, but whenever Amy's putting on a special performance, there's usually a larger crowd. She's kind of the jewel of this place.
A special performance, you say?
Yes, there's a little bit of magic involved, but she... It's just something about the way she sings, she paints a picture, telling a story. It's just... I don't know, I can feel it in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a lot easier to explain once she comes out on stage. Have you been in Louvain long, or have you been here before?
I've been here before, but that was years ago. I think before the war, even.
So you travel around a lot.
I do, yes.
Do you practice anything in particular? I saw you carrying a bow at one point.
I could call myself a reasonably experienced hunter, all things considered, but other than that, I suppose just a little of everything and something. I spend time drawing, occasionally making music. Yeah.
You draw?
Mhm.
What kind of things do you draw?
Things that cross my path. Memories from long past. People that have had significance in my life.
Do you have lots of memories like that?
Oh, do I?
She doesn't look like she's having as much anxiety now, but she does look strangely nervous. And like in a different manner. It's more... It seems to be a little bit more fearful than it is anxiety.
Oh, what's the matter, dear?
Sorry, just kind of talking about that brings up a little bit of a painful memory. She's kind of like clutching a little bit at the mask.
You can tell me.
I don't know if I can just yet. I'm sorry.
That's all fine. Perhaps in more private surroundings.
Thank you for understanding.
Oh, at your own pace, of course.
I'm usually not this guarded, but I struggled a lot with my appearance and my deformity, as it were. And I sought out abode and hoped to get a different perspective. And it helped, but there's still this part of me that I have to deal with.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, dear.
She looks a bit more relieved now, and she kind of like scoots a little bit closer over in the booth.
He said returns that gesture, sidling a little closer herself.
And as you two get a little bit closer together, you hear a little bit of whistling as it appears that Amy is now stepping back out onto the stage. And you see the familiar, very beautiful possum woman wearing just a pure jet black dress that hugs her figure, and her very wishful looking sapphire eyes as she looks out into the crowd. And you watch as a ghostly looking instrument seems to manifest on the stage behind her, as well as some very hard to recognize figures, as if she is calling them to stage.
Oh.
And you feel for a moment Veronica kind of just lean over against you and whispers, "She's starting." You watch as she begins to sing out, and the entire crowd is completely silent. She, at one point, reaches out and kind of like very gently takes your hand.
He said gladly lets her take it, like actually like pressing it into hers a little.
And as Amy continues to sing, you occasionally glance over her way, and she's completely enamored, just listening to every word that just comes out of her mouth. She is not hypnotized or entranced, but
just captivated.
Captivated.
He said does actually take this opportunity to like maneuver her hand around a little and squeeze around Veronica as it did.
You feel her return the gesture as the song comes to an end, and she looks to you and smiles a lot more brightly. Thank you for coming out here with me tonight. I I don't get to enjoy evenings out on my own that much anymore.
I'll say it's been quite a while for me too. Thank you for this.
Will I be able to see you again soon?
I'll see for how long I'll be in the vein, but if nothing else, I'll try my best to stay in touch.
Of course. Let me know when you plan to depart.
I will see.
And you can see there's just like a slight moment of hesitation before she just kind of like leans over and just like pecks you on the cheek.
Issa doesn't even hesitate, like when she gets that pic, she just full on kisses her on the lips.
She is absolutely shocked in this moment and was not expecting such an affectionate return. And after kind of like taking a second to realize, oh, this is happening, then leans more into it and returns the kiss.
Excellent.
After you separate, she takes a second to regain her composure. She's like, all right, well, drinks?
Gladly.
All right. And you order drinks and spend a very lovely evening with the Knight Captain of Louvain. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh my god.
Okay.
The gayest, bestest moment.
We got coffee beans and lesbians.
Yes.
We don't get
Yeah.
Got
the song.
him!
Yes, also, please do no strike, please.
It'll happen, tragically.
Your omnipotence, have mercy.
Hopefully the talking will override it slightly.
Well, it's copyright-free music, so...
Oh,
my God.
well, there you go.
Rad.
That was sick.
Got
Oh,
him!
good.
Either way, we will close out the session early for this very cute moment, and then we will pick up with Vegas and Vanya's escapades at the Veteran Union next
Uh-oh.
session.
Gonna
Oh,
be
yes.
so insanely chaotic. I
boy.
hope you're ready.
Like I said, I only had time for one scene, and the Veteran Unions was not going to be 10 to 15 minutes.
No.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
usually.
This was going to take significantly longer. Got it.
All right.
Have I done enough cooking stuff to maybe earn another chef point?
I will look into it.
Smiles.
That's a polite way of saying that you kind of beefed it.
You cooked Charlotte's brain with all that vandalism.
So I did cook well.
Boiled her blood then and there.
And
It's
I
only-
will definitely look over everyone's sheet. Make sure to leave me any kind of pings, either in Emporium or in DMs, about anything that needs to be added to your sheet or fixed. I will make sure everything is correctly updated the next time we get together.
All
As far as
right.
I can tell, I'm good.
All you'll need to do is just look over. I've put Piercer in the right place. That's it. That's in
Yeah.
passives, which it is a passive, so should be okay.
Fighter doesn't get much level 4, so I'm set.
So, next week is the first half of Act 3 of Air,
The beginning of the end.
the penultimate session.
Oh,
We're gonna
boy.
kill Vecna
I'm
in the
so
first hour,
excited.
and we can go home.
Before anyone skedaddles, Priest.
Quick and sweet, home to
Hi,
eat.
that's me.
Just out of curiosity, would Iggy be willing to partake in the devil's lettuce?
Oh,
Yeah, is Ziggy chill like that?
is that a weed?
Yeah, actually, he would.
Cool. Then this image is canon.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you know what? Fair. Iggy will drink and smoke, you know, he's just moderate about his vices.
He's just a cop. It's fine.
Yeah, he's allowed to drink and smoke, but he'll arrest you if you do it.
I'm gonna do it right
Yes.
in front of him to spite him.
Look,
Right.
we're 1 for 1 on Iggy getting someone unarrested, alright?
True. But that's only because you're IA. So it's fine.
Nepotism.
Nepotism.
I can't win! I can't win!
This is so sad.
See, what you did is very early on, you showed that this was a weakness. And I am one of the brattiest people you'll ever meet. And I'm going to
I've
keep
noticed.
pushing this little button until it doesn't entertain me anymore. What is this gif? Oh. Alrighty, I am going to vanish. You, Gao, are not
What?
safe from the Tekken. I will play you tomorrow, okay?
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah. Get practicing, because you'll probably need to, like, get some moisturizer for your fists after you beat the shit out of me.
I don't need practice.
Alrighty.
Alright.
Take care, folks.
Okay. Bye bye. See you guys
Bye.
next week.
See you
Bye-bye.
around.
Good night, y'all.
Bye.